introduce what is easy code classes because there are so many students from first year. Easy code classes is an educational organization. हम स्टूडेंट्स को, क्योंकि आप सब लोग जानते हैं कि अभी आपके हो सकता है चेहरे पर मायूसी भी छाई हुई हो क्योंकि कोविड की वजह से आप लोगों को घर में अपना कॉलेज करना पड़ रहा है, राइट? इवन द सेम केस वाज फॉर लास्ट ईयर स्टूडेंट्स एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी स्टार्टेड अप कि आपको एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म मिले जिससे आप सीनियर्स के साथ इंटरेक्ट कर सको और कुछ ऐसी चीजें भी होती हैं जो टेक्निकल होती हैं या फिर एकेडमिक पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से आप कुछ सीख सको. फॉर दिस पर्पस बेसिकली इजी कोड वाज स्टार्टेड एंड as far as now we have conducted more than 5 workshops on machine learning, GitHub, GSOC and so many topics और हम अब तक 10 बैचेस भी कंडक्ट कर चुके हैं. तो दिस वर्कशॉप इज यूनिक इन इट सेंस क्योंकि इसमें आप सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जानने वाले हो जो है कम्युनिकेशन. जब तक आपके अंदर अच्छी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स नहीं होंगी तब तक आप अपने टेक्निकल नॉलेज को भी एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर पाएंगे. एंड दिस इज व्हाई आई होप मोस्ट ऑफ यू हैव जॉइन्ड दिस सेशन. तो आज हमारे गेस्ट हैं ऋतुजा लिंगमपल्ले, हु इज सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर एट कॉग्निजेंट at Cognizant Technologies and वो 3 साल से लगभग इस डोमेन में है. उन्हें 3 साल का लीडरशिप एज वेल एज पब्लिक स्पीकिंग एक्सपीरियंस है. She conducts live workshops and sessions for college students so that they can communicate effectively and express themselves. So without wasting much time, I think Rutuja.
Hello. Is everybody able to hear me? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So before we begin, tell me in the chat box, would you like to have this session in English or Hindi? Fast.
Or even mix English.
Okay. Okay, I had anticipated that English, Hindi would be the mixed response. So I'll be using both the languages while speaking क्योंकि जब हम लोग similar age group के साथ communicate करते हैं तो it becomes very friendly and relatable in Hindi and it becomes professional in English. So I want this session to be like that, a mix of all the professional etiquettes that you guys are expected to have when you enter corporates. And I'll also tell you the bits, tiny pieces of information that no HR professional or professional will tell you, but as a friend or as a senior, I have to tell you before you enter the corporates. So before we begin with the session, a little bit about myself. My name is Rutuja Lingampalle, and as Prathamesh said, I have been the chairperson of Social Welfare and Development Committee of Vishwakarma Institute of Technology. Before that, I was the Planning and Execution Secretary of the same committee. And since my school age, I have always been on the leadership positions. I have hold the responsibility of head girl in the school. And why am I telling you about these positions that I have held in schools or colleges is because by being on these positions, I have very keenly observed human behavior. That is why I am fascinated by human behavior, first of all. And when I entered Cognizant as a trainee and my internship was going on, I saw that everybody in our group of 20 people was technically very good. We all had almost the same technical capabilities, but the people who were able to express themselves effectively were the people who went ahead. And it felt very bad to me because everybody was same, you know, in terms of technical capabilities, there were only difference of 1 or 2 points, but the people who went ahead were very effective in their communication skills. They were able to articulate the problem statement very effectively. Okay, so whenever a use case was provided, now what is a use case? Some of the people might be knowing that some problem is given, okay, from our client to our team. The people who had good communication skills were first able to understand the problem properly. Then they were able to find a solution and then express the solution properly. Now we engineers or people from any background, we are getting trained to solve problems in our degrees, right? Or whenever we are enhancing our technical skills, our problem solving is getting enhanced. But what about the starting and the concluding part of understanding the problem where you need critical thinking and expressing the solution properly where you need good articulation? So that is why communication skills is really, really important. Now tell me, when I say having good communication skill or an amazing public speaker, आप लोगों के mind में किसका नाम आता है? जिस इंसान को देख के आपको ऐसा लगता है कि वाओ इसकी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स बहुत अच्छी है. You can talk about any celebrity, any leader, any political leader. Vivek Bindra, Raj Thakre.
Cricketers, all cricketers.
All cricketers, yes. Virat Kohli. Okay, we have to talk about Virat
Sandeep
Kohli.
Maheshwari.
Amazing. Sandeep Maheshwari is my favorite too. Ranveer Allahabadiya, Shashi Tharoor, Hitler. Okay, Hitler is also, in terms of communication, a good one. SK, SRK. Okay, so I'll tell you, you have picked a few people. And what is that one quality? Who is this Bhushan? Amazing, very good confidence, Bhushan. I'll tell you what is that one speciality that you people said. You people spoke about Vivek Bindra, Sandeep Maheshwari, Hitler, all these people. Their communication skill is persuasive, or Raj Thakre. They can convince people, they can influence people, and they can get people to follow their path. Very good convincing capabilities. Now, if you see Shashi Tharoor, his specialization is mastery over the language and vocabulary. And some people said cricketers and other people who are special in their domains like Shah Rukh Khan or other actors' name were also there in the list. Now these people are very passionate about their job profiles. When they speak from their heart center. I mean, their emotions about their passion in acting or about passion in cricket or how they played. If you see a cricketer speaking just after a match is over, he's all hyped up, and he says everything that was going on in his or her mind while playing. And that speech is something that we also keenly listen, rather than a cricketer who is in the press conference and giving answers as a captain or something else. But what we enjoy the most is that passionate emotional speaking just after the event is over. So there is different flavor to these people's communication skills. So what is the goal of this particular session is to communicate with clarity and confidence, because these two elements are the most important elements in your speech. You can be an amazing orator or a public speaker, but your public doesn't understand what you're trying to say. Or you are a manager, okay, and you give a very good motivational speech, but then your subordinates don't understand what is the call of action, what is the agenda of the meeting. So in this workshop, we are going to get our basics right. And one additional thing in this workshop that was not mentioned on any poster, or we did not reveal it, that as students, as we go through this presentation, I will also guide you through how to take charge of yourself. There is a different power in the speech of people who are in complete control of themselves and people who just keep on speaking and blabbering. If you see some elite personalities like Barack Obama, Elon Musk, people who are very grounded in their work when they speak, they have a sense of power, control in their speech. And people who randomly keep speaking on the television or on YouTube, we see a lot of them. We can connect to some of the things and we cannot connect to some of the things. The speech is not orderly. The thoughts are not in control. They don't get in sync with one another. So in this workshop, we will see how to get our speed of thinking in sync with the speed of speaking, speak clearly, effectively, and the person who is listening to us will understand within the minute usko kya milne wala hai, okay, uska call of action kya hone wala hai. ये अगर हम लोग हमारे स्पीकर को बता पाए तो जो 0 स्टेप है या जो स्क्वायर 1 है कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स का, वो हमने सीख लिया. ठीक है, इसके लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम हमारे नॉलेज पे अपना कंट्रोल रखें, हर चीज पे अपना कंट्रोल होना चाहिए, तभी हम अच्छे कम्युनिकेटर्स बनते हैं. एंड बिफोर वी गो अहेड, how many of you think that your English is not good, or I want you all to rate yourself on a scale of 10 in terms of speaking in English, just speaking? Chinmay, you want to speak? You can unmute your mic and speak.
English as
Nowadays,
it's okay.
Okay,
nowadays
Chinmay,
mostly
continue.
companies prefer interviews in English language, or there is barrier of language, which they base on which basis they select candidates.
Okay, that was Chinmay's perspective. Fair enough. Can we go to Bhushan?
Yeah, in professional life, everyone is means the way of talking is English, okay? So in English, we can express ourselves better, much in professional life, rather than other languages, I think.
Okay, Bhushan. And anybody else wants to speak?
Okay, so my name is Pratnesh Ingole. So for me, English is really a very simple language, actually, to be honest. We are just scared because of professional speakers and because of their confidence. We just lower our self-esteem. And for me, in the upcoming years, programming and English language will be only the pioneer, or will only take the place of what you can say, the throne of knowledge. So you should have both these two things in yourself, and you will succeed in any field. So for me, that's importance of English.
Okay. So,
Ma'am, English is effectively
yes, yes.
with people from all over the world.
Yes. Pradnesh also give a very insightful, his insightful perspective. And I was not able to hear you clearly. Can you speak again? Who spoke right now, Sharayu or Mayuri? Okay.
Ma'am, it is effectively interacted with other peoples of other countries.
Yes, Sharayu, this is one of the language that is widely known. And if we have this knowledge of this language and we can speak basic English, it is easier for us to interact with others. Now, understand, guys, we need to see everything as it is. What do I mean by that is, जिसकी जितनी importance है ना, उसको उतनी ही importance दो, पर वो importance दो. अब इंग्लिश के सेंस में हम लोग क्या करते हैं, एक तो इंग्लिश को बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस दे देते हैं. जैसे हम में से एक ने कहा कि हम प्रोफेशनल स्पीकर्स को देख के या जो लोग बहुत ही अच्छे से बात करते हैं उनको देख के डर जाते हैं और इंग्लिश में बात करने की कोशिश भी नहीं करते. या फिर भी कंप्लीटली नेग्लेक्टेड, हम सोचते हैं कि हमारी मदर टंग तो मराठी या हिंदी है, तो फिर हम इंग्लिश सीख के क्या करेंगे, या फिर इंग्लिश है ना, किसी फॉरेन कंट्री ने हम पर इन्वेजन करके हम पे थोप कर चले गए तो हम इंग्लिश क्यों सीखे. नाउ देयर आर एक्सट्रीम पर्सपेक्टिव अबाउट दिस लैंग्वेज, बट वी एज स्टूडेंट्स उसको हमारी लाइफ में इंपॉर्टेंस कितना है, उतना इंपॉर्टेंस हमने उसको देना ही चाहिए. नाउ I'll again give the example of Cognizant, our company, and many other companies my friends work in. I have many friends from the CSIT department. I have friends also from, doing MBBS. I have friends from CA, all kinds of background. Okay, I'm a very social person. I have so many friends from all different kinds of background, and I always keep on asking them these kind of questions कि तुम्हारे कंपनी में इसका कितना इंपॉर्टेंस है, ये लैंग्वेज कितनी यूज होती है, किस चीज का ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंस है, किस चीज का कम इंपॉर्टेंस है. तो जो भी ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन होता है ना अपनी कंट्री में, इंग्लिश इज वन ऑफ द लैंग्वेजेस जिसमें मोस्टली लार्ज ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस का डॉक्यूमेंटेशन होता है. तो अगर हम फ्यूचर में किसी लार्ज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का पार्ट होने वाले हैं, या अपनी खुद की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बनाने वाले हैं, या हम ग्लोबल लेवल पे इंटरेक्शन करने वाले हैं, तो ये लैंग्वेज हमारे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड इफ यू सी टुडेज वर्ल्ड, एवरीथिंग इज गेटिंग कनेक्टेड. So we have to, act globally, think about everything, and also see about our local circumstances. So when we see English, we should see it from a perspective कि इसकी इतनी importance है, इसको एक बार सीख लो, फिर it won't be a barrier for you anytime. तो आपके दिमाग में इंग्लिश को लेकर जो भी डाउट्स है ना, स्पेशली डाउट्स क्यों आते हैं, सबसे उसका मेन पर्पस क्या होता है कि आपका बैकग्राउंड इंग्लिश स्पीकिंग स्कूल से नहीं है. ये सबसे बड़ा फ्लॉ मैंने देखा है कि बच्चे ये सोचते हैं कि हमारा जो स्कूलिंग है वो ZP के स्कूल से हुआ है, या सेमी इंग्लिश से हुआ है, या प्योर मराठी मीडियम से हुआ है, हिंदी मीडियम से हुआ है, तेलुगु मीडियम से हुआ, तमिल मीडियम से हुआ, किसी भी मीडियम से हुआ, तो इसकी वजह से हमारी इंग्लिश अच्छी नहीं है. और जब मैं VIT में थी तो मोस्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स यही बोलते थे. बट ऐसा नहीं है कि आप अगर एक पर्टिकुलर मीडियम से पढ़े हो तो आप दूसरी लैंग्वेज सीख ही नहीं सकते. मुझे एक बात बताइए, मराठी आपने, अगर मराठी आपकी मदर टंग है, मराठी आपने स्कूल में सीखी या मराठी आपने घर पे सीखी?
घर पे.
तो किसी भी लैंग्वेज को सीखने का सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट क्या है? घर पे ऐसा क्या होता है मराठी में जिसकी वजह से
डेली कम्युनिकेशन.
यस तुम लोग ये
Practice.
आंसर दे रहे हो
Practice.
Speak in Marathi.
speaking Marathi again and again, but we are again missing on the basic thing. When we were
There is
child,
no fear in talking Marathi.
this is also good, but why? When we were child, we were not able to speak anything, but still we know Marathi. How come?
Surrounding speak.
We
Practice.
keep listening to it again and again around us.
समृद्धि अमेजिंग आंसर. वी कीप लिसनिंग टू इट, वी कॉन्शियसली कीप लिसनिंग टू इट. और अगर आप खुद का बिहेवियर ऑब्जर्व करो तो अगर आपको इंग्लिश नहीं आती और कोई अगर एकदम से फास्ट इंग्लिश में बोलने लग जाए तो आपका माइंड तुरंत रेजिस्टेंस क्रिएट करता है. आप वो यूट्यूब वीडियो स्किप कर देते हो, आप इंग्लिश मूवी स्किप कर देते हो. इंग्लिश का आपके सामने अगर कोई भी कॉम्प्लेक्स पैसेज लाके रख दिया तो आप वो न्यूज देखना बंद कर देते हो. ये अनकॉन्शियस हैबिट्स है हमारी जो एक लैंग्वेज को लेकर डेवलप हो गई है. क्यों? क्योंकि हमने बचपन से वो लैंग्वेज को ना सुनने के बारे में सोचा है. जब भी हम देखते हैं कि कोई बच्चा ये लैंग्वेज में बहुत ही अच्छे से बात कर रहा है, खुद को कंपेयर किया, हमने खुद को डिग्रेड किया, उसके बाद हमने खुद का ही कॉन्फिडेंस खराब किया और हर बार जब वो लैंग्वेज अपने सामने आ रही है तो हम लोग और ज्यादा डर रहे हैं. तो इस सेशन के बाद आप लोग इस लूप को ब्रेक करेंगे कंप्लीटली. इस लूप को ब्रेक करने का एक ही सिंपल पैटर्न है, स्टार्ट लिसनिंग. आप जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन कंज्यूम कर रहे हो वो सारी इंफॉर्मेशन आप इंग्लिश में कंज्यूम करो. हर टॉपिक पे वीडियोस आपको हर लैंग्वेज में यूट्यूब पे मिलेंगे. अगर आप सिंपली एक देख रहे हो कि कोई कोडिंग रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन है या कोई टेक्निकल सेशन चल रहा है, वो आजकल हिंदी, इंग्लिश, मराठी आपको हर लैंग्वेज में मिल जाएगा. कॉन्शियसली गो टू इंग्लिश. अगर आपको एक बार में समझ में नहीं आता तो वो बार बार देखो. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट द स्पीकर इज सेइंग and whatever entertainment also you consume, try to consume that in English. एक बार आपकी इंग्लिश अच्छी हो गई ना, then you can go and get it of your choice कि आपको जो लैंग्वेज में रिलेटेबल लगता है आप वो करो. बट आप ये देखोगे कि जैसे ही आपने अपने अंदर का ये लूप खत्म किया ना ऑफ अवॉइडिंग थिंग्स इन इंग्लिश, you will start automatically grasping that language faster. तो ये छोटे बच्चों का ही एग्जाम्पल याद रखो कि हम जब हमें बोलना भी नहीं आता था, हम सिर्फ सुनते थे और फिर हम उस लैंग्वेज में बोलने लगे, तो आपका माइंड जो है वो उस लैंग्वेज को लेकर कंफर्टेबल हो जाता है. नाउ सेकंड थिंग इज, हम इंग्लिश में फ्लुएंटली बात क्यों नहीं कर पाते? इज बिकॉज दो रीजन है उसके. एक तो हमारी प्रैक्टिस कम होती ही है, ये बहुत कॉमन रीजन है. बट उसके पीछे का सबसे बड़ा रीजन क्या है कि हम जब बात करते हैं तो हम सोचते अपनी मदर टंग में हैं और हम बोलते इंग्लिश में हैं. जैसे जब मैं अभी आप लोगों से हिंदी में बात कर रही हूँ तो मेरे थॉट्स भी हिंदी में चल रहे हैं. नाउ व्हेन आई स्विच टू इंग्लिश, माय थॉट्स आल्सो स्विच इन इंग्लिश बिफोर स्पीकिंग. नाउ दिस हैज हैपेंड टू मी अनकॉन्शियसली आफ्टर प्रैक्टिसिंग अ लॉट. पहले अगर कोई मुझे बात करते करते लैंग्वेज स्विच करने बोले ना, मुझसे होता नहीं था. आई यूज्ड टू फंबल अ लॉट. मैं अच्छे से लैंग्वेज स्विच नहीं कर पाती थी. जब मैंने इसकी प्रैक्टिस की तो मैं लैंग्वेज को स्विच करने लगी. तो जब भी आप अकेले में बैठे हो एंड बिफोर स्टार्टिंग टू स्पीक इन इंग्लिश, जो भी आप सोच रहे हो ना उसको इंग्लिश में सोचने की कोशिश करो. सोचना मतलब क्या होता है कि हम अपने आप से बात कर रहे हैं, राइट? और हम अपने आप से किसी भी लैंग्वेज में बात कर सकते हैं. तो पहले आप जो बोलना चाहते हो वो आप इंग्लिश में सोचो और फिर आप बोलो. तो जब आप ऐसे स्टार्ट करोगे ना तो आपकी स्पीच बहुत स्लो होगी, मैं मानती हूँ. उसकी वजह से क्या होगा, आपके थॉट्स भी थोड़े स्लो हो जाएंगे और आप कंट्रोल्ड वे में सोचोगे और कंट्रोल्ड वे में बोलोगे. और जब आप कॉर्पोरेट्स में होते हो ना तो कोई आपसे एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करता, या फिर आप किसी भी प्रोफेशनल सेटअप में होते हो तो कोई आपसे एक्सपेक्ट नहीं करता कि आप राजधानी एक्सप्रेस की स्पीड से बोलो. आप आराम से बोलो और जो बोल रहे हो वो सामने वाले को समझ में आए, इतना ही आपसे एक्सपेक्टेड होता है. And once you get used to this, you will be able to speak very fluently. So now there are two things that I said. First thing is to listen and consume everything in English. And second thing is, what was the second thing? To think in English before speaking in English. Now the third thing. Now third thing is basics of learning any language. जो point 0 था वो तो हमने समझ लिया कि listening था. अब जब आप किसी भी लैंग्वेज पर मास्टरी करना चाहते हो तो आपको वो लैंग्वेज में लिखते भी अच्छे से आना चाहिए. आपको लिखने के लिए पहले पढ़ना बहुत जरूरी है. नाउ यू शुड स्टार्ट रीडिंग एवरीथिंग दैट यू गेट इन इंग्लिश. नाउ अगर आपको बुक्स पढ़ने का शौक है फॉर एग्जांपल, तो आप इंग्लिश में बुक्स पढ़ो. अगर आपको आर्टिकल्स या फिर एडिटोरियल्स, न्यूज एडिटोरियल्स पढ़ने का शौक है तो आप उसमें पढ़ो. अभी मैं रीडिंग पे इतना एम्फसाइज क्यों कर रही हूँ, क्योंकि आपको याद होगा कि वर्कशॉप के स्टार्टिंग में मैंने क्या बोला कि अपने सामने क्लाइंट एक प्रॉब्लम लेके आता है, तो पहले हम उस डॉक्यूमेंट को पढ़ के प्रॉब्लम को समझते हैं. Once you get elder, nobody is going to break down the problem for you and spoon feed you. You have to understand that problem on your own. Your managers, your seniors will help you once or twice, but what you have to do is start understanding the problem on your own. So this is critical thinking. You know, you read a few lines and you try to make sense out of it. ये critical thinking की skill is very important in today's and tomorrow's world too. जैसे अभी एक बच्चे ने बोला कि इंग्लिश और कोडिंग ऐसी चीजें होंगी जो थ्रोन वगैरह लेंगी, बट यू नो आई विल नॉट टॉक अबाउट द इंग्लिश एंड लैंग्वेज वाला पार्ट. बट अगर इफ वी आर सेइंग कि प्रोग्रामिंग, यस प्रोग्रामिंग इज गोइंग टू टेक अ वेरी बिग रोल इन द फ्यूचर, क्योंकि हम भी देख रहे हैं कि प्रोग्रेशन किस तरफ जा रहा है. प्रोग्रामिंग इज गोइंग टू टेक अ बिग रोल इन फ्यूचर, बट प्रोग्रामिंग के पीछे भी क्या है? इफ यू गो बिहाइंड प्रोग्रामिंग, प्रोग्रामिंग इज कि तुम इंस्ट्रक्शंस दे रहे हो टू सॉल्व अ प्रॉब्लम, उसके पीछे भी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, उसके पीछे भी क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग है. तुमको बहुत सोचना पड़ता है बिफोर यू राइट एनीथिंग, एनी पीस ऑफ कोड. यू हैव टू प्रॉपर्ली डिजाइन इट, राइट? तो डिजाइन करने के लिए तुम्हारे कौन सी मसल यूज हो रही है? तुम्हारे दिमाग की क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग वाली. तो रीडिंग इतनी बेसिक चीज है. आप जैसे रीड करते हो कोई पैसेजेस, आप रीड करके आपको जो समझाना वो इंग्लिश में लिखो. आप कोई भी एडिटोरियल लिख के बारे में पढ़ के लिख सकते हो, आपने कोई बुक पढ़ी उसकी समरी लिखो, आपने कोई टेड टॉक देखा, ओके, या फिर आपने किसी भी लेटेस्ट इन्वेंशन के बारे में, आपके फील्ड के बारे में जो भी उसके बारे में सुना, किसी ग्रेट पर्सनालिटी की स्पीच सुनी, वो इंसान ने क्या बोला ना, उसको समराइज करना सीखो, उसको छोटे छोटे सेंटेंसेस में लिखना सीखो. ये होने के बाद क्या हो रहा है पता है? आपकी जो आर्टिकुलेट करने की मसल है, मतलब जो मैंने कंक्लूजन के बारे में बात की थी कि प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के बाद वो प्रॉब्लम को एक्सप्रेस करना. तो रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग, आप लोग सोच रहे होंगे कि मैं जो बता रही हूँ बहुत बेसिक है, तो हम स्कूल में करते थे, बट स्कूल में हमको मैच्योरिटी नहीं थी कि हम ये क्यों करते हैं. अभी मैं आप लोगों को समझा रही हूँ कि ये करना क्यों इम्पोर्टेंट है. अगर आप कोई भी बड़े एग्जाम्स देखो, वो आपसे ये स्किल डिमांड करते हैं. आपका फ्यूचर भले ही आईटी में हो, आपका फ्यूचर भले ही आप एमबीबीएस कर रहे हो, आप सीए हो, आप कुछ भी हो, आपको हर बार आपकी क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग यूज करनी पड़ती है. और आगे जाके जो भी आप बड़े बड़े कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स देते हैं, जैसे यूपीएससी है, कैट है, जी मैट है, जीआरई है, हर कोई एग्जाम आपकी क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग टेस्ट करती ही है. भले ही क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग आपकी पेपर में ना टेस्ट करे, फिर इंटरव्यू में करे, बट क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग इज अ स्किल that is going to be in demand in future. Like I can give this in the writing. जिसको critically सोच के चीजों का solution ढूंढना आता है, that person will be always in demand. तो critical thinking develop ऐसे ही की जाती है. आप किसी पैराग्राफ को जब पढ़ते हो तो आप बस रीड नहीं करते, आप सोचते हो कि ये जो ऑथर है उसने क्या assumptions किए लिखने से पहले, उसने ये क्या सोचकर लिखा, उसका बैकग्राउंड क्या था. अभी आज से पहले जब आपने ऐसे पढ़ा होगा तो शायद नहीं पढ़ा होगा, या फिर आपने पढ़ा होगा तो भी आपकी जो कंफर्टेबल रीडिंग लैंग्वेज है उसमें पढ़ा होगा. अब जब आप पढ़ोगे तो इंग्लिश में पढ़िए और लिखते हुए भी इंग्लिश में लिखिए. अगर आपके इंग्लिश में ग्रामेटिकल एरर्स होंगे, या आपको बहुत बच्चों को स्पेलिंग्स की प्रॉब्लम अभी भी होती है, मतलब हम लोग इसको बहुत ट्रिवियल चीज समझते हैं, बट होती है. जब मेल्स लिखते हैं या फिर पता नहीं चलता कि मेल में क्या लिखे, मेल में कौन सा पैराग्राफ कहाँ पर लिखे, ये सारी जो चीजें है ना, ये आपको कोई स्पून फीड नहीं कर सकता. जब आप लिखे हुए पीसेस पढ़ते हो और अपने पीसेस लिखते हो, तभी आपको ये आता है. तो आप YouTube पर जाके कोई शॉर्टकट्स नहीं ढूंढे कि ये कैसे करते हैं, ईमेल कैसे लिखते हैं, कोई भी पैसेज हो तो कैसे लिखते हैं, उसके रूल्स क्या होते हैं. आप जितना पढ़ सकते हो उतना पढ़ते जाओ. अगर आपके पास अच्छी रीडिंग हैबिट है ना, तो ये हैबिट कभी भी वेस्ट नहीं जाने वाली. एंड दिस इज वन हैबिट ऑफ बीइंग इन चार्ज ऑफ योरसेल्फ, टेकिंग चार्ज ऑफ योरसेल्फ, दैट यू बिकम गुड एविड रीडर्स. ओके, तो ये हो गया रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग के बारे में. तो ये सब होने के बाद सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जो हम नहीं करते वो है स्पीकिंग. अगर आप इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हो कि आपने लिसनिंग अच्छे से की, आप रीड करते हो बुक्स, आप लिख रहे हो, तो स्पीकिंग एक प्रोडक्ट बन जाता है. आप देखोगे कि आप कॉन्शियसली नहीं, बट आप इंग्लिश सेंटेंसेस यूज करने लगोगे बोलते बोलते. तो आपको अभी ये कॉन्शियसली करना है कि आप कोई एक ऐसा फ्रेंड ढूंढ लो. मैं ये हमेशा बोलती हूँ और कॉलेज में हम ये करते थे आपको ऐसा फ्रेंड ढूंढ लो जिसकी इंग्लिश आपसे थोड़ी सी भी अच्छी है, आप दोनों रोज इंग्लिश में बात करो और एक दूसरे को फीडबैक्स दो। अगर आपके पास ऐसा कोई फ्रेंड नहीं है तो बहुत सारी स्पीकिंग रूम्स होती है, जैसे मुझे एक ऐप पता है एस इंग्लिश, तो वहां पर आपका फोन कनेक्ट होता है किसी ऐसे पर्सन से जो इंग्लिश सीखना चाहता है, और आप दोनों बात करते हो, आपके नंबर्स भी एक्सचेंज नहीं होते, और फिर आप एक दूसरे को फीडबैक देते हो, रेटिंग देते हो कि आपका ग्रामर कैसा था। आप कॉल बीच में कट भी कर सकते हो। इट इज लाइक अ वेरी यूजर फ्रेंडली प्लेटफॉर्म। तो एस इंग्लिश पे प्रैक्टिस करो अगर ये है तो। क्लब हाउस पे अगर आपको अच्छे क्लब्स मिल रहे हैं तो मतलब आई ट्राइड सर्चिंग फॉर गुड क्लब्स ऑन क्लब हाउस, मुझे मिले नहीं। अगर आपको पता है तो मुझे बताओ मैसेज में सम गुड क्लब्स फॉर स्पीकिंग इन इंग्लिश। और अभी तुम लोग जो सेशन में हो ना, जो सीरियसली मोटिवेटेड है इस लैंग्वेज को एक बार का सीख के अपने बेसिक्स क्लियर करने के लिए, आप अपना क्लब बना लो क्लब हाउस पे एंड स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग। ओके, सो एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस अबाउट इंग्लिश? यार कुछ तो बोलो, अभी मैं काफी देर से बात कर रही हूँ।
Ma'am, yes, I have one doubt. That is, generally when we try to speak English or when we try to communicate with any other person, so the most important thing that happen is our grammar, like basically has or had, that wording differences. So that is something that which creates a little like problem whenever we try to speak. Grammar mistakes, I mean. We know how to speak, but that little like grammar mistakes sometimes mislead the sentence and can cause little difference.
I completely agree with you, Athar. If you are facing issues to grammar, and when you, like you said, you are aware that the issues are in tenses. So what I recommend you to do is just go on YouTube and watch any one video related to tenses, get your basics clear. Once you have done it, then while you read, like I said, while you read any book or you are reading any piece of information, try to see what kind of tenses are being used. Okay, so you become aware about the tenses, you start reading and you start speaking. And whenever I said you find a friend with whom you can speak, तो उससे पूछो कि क्या मैं टेंसेस में फिर से गलती कर रहा हूँ क्या। Okay, if you're making a mistake in tenses, that means your basic regarding grammar is not clear. And if you find out any one point like this, you should go and re-watch everything like related to that topic. And it will take only 2-3 days for you to study tenses completely. Okay, so it is always a good idea to go back to basics, in your school time, you learn that particular topic and then practice it again. Is that fine, Athar?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am,
Yes, Namit.
Ma'am, how to increase our vocabulary?
Namit, do you have any specific goal? Like, are you preparing for a plan of preparing an exam, or you just want general good vocabulary?
Ma'am, I said generally.
Generally, so see, good vocabulary. Once, like do you have a reading habit? Do you read?
Ma'am, yes.
Okay, so whenever you read, you should note down the words that you don't know. Okay, new words. New words, try to find their meaning and make sentences out of it. It is a very good way. And then use those words. Okay, just don't make sentences and leave it. And one of the very good ideas is there are many vocabulary pages on Instagram which post daily vocabulary questions, or they'll also post daily vocabs like this is new. So you can go and follow those pages. Those people also have good reels that will make you remember those words. So this is one of the things that you can do. There was one girl who was asking a question.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I can write in English correctly on paper. It is grammatically also correct. But when there is a time to speak or to communicate to other, I have to first make the sentences in my mind and then I have to speak. Means when we speak in Marathi or Hindi, then we don't need to think first in language in our mind. But why this happens only with English?
See, Pratiksha, what you're saying is when you're speaking in Marathi, you don't have to frame the sentence in English. Sorry, in Marathi. That is not right, okay? You are framing a sentence in your mind, okay? While speaking in Marathi also, but that is so fast that it is not in your awareness. And in English, it takes time for you because you have not practiced it that much. You are speaking Marathi from how many years?
From my childhood.
From your childhood. And English, when did you start speaking, just started speaking?
I think in 7th, 8th standard.
7th, 8th. But do you use English that much as you use Marathi?
No.
No. So there will be difference in speed of your thought. Your thought is like a bullet train when you are speaking in Marathi, and it is like a slow bus when you are speaking in English. So don't worry about it much, because you said your grammar is okay, you write well. That means your skills are okay, you don't have a problem with skills. The only thing you need is practice. So you make sure that you're speaking as much English as you're speaking other languages. As I said, find a English speaking buddy, that helps the most. Okay, find a friend who will talk to you in English. Otherwise, use the app that I said. Your English will improve for sure.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Any more questions? Yes, Jay.
I have a question that whenever I have gone for public speaking, the major problem that I face is maintaining a flow of thought. Like whatever the topic I have, I tend to forget things in between. So how do you cope with that? Could you please elaborate?
Yes, Jay. See, when you're doing any public speaking or anything, like for example, this workshop, what do you do is before a week or 3-4 days of the workshop or the public speaking event, please make a script. Now you see what is your level. You can either make a complete script of what all things you want to say. Now not necessary यहाँ पे आके जैसा आपने स्क्रिप्ट में लिखा आप वैसे ही बोलो. बट क्या होता है ना, जब आप आपके माइंड को 2-3 दिन के लिए ट्रेन करते हो ना, उसको बेसिक डेटा पता चल जाता है कि मुझे ये सारी चीजों के बारे में बात करना है. अभी हम लोग YouTube पे वगैरह देखते हैं ना, तो स्पीकर्स क्या बोलते हैं, हम स्पॉन्टेनियसली बात करते हैं, मतलब जो मेरे मन में आता है मैं बोल देता हूँ. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता. हर एक इंसान हो, कितना भी अच्छा स्पीकर हो, एटलीस्ट पॉइंटर्स बनाता ही है. तो आप एक काम किया करो, आप अच्छे से स्क्रिप्ट लिखा करो. उसके बाद जो मेन पॉइंट्स है ना, वो जस्ट इवेंट के पहले हमेशा उसके थ्रू जाओ. अब जब मैंने भी एज अ स्टेज एंकर स्टार्ट किया था, जब मैं स्कूल में एंकरिंग करती थी या मैं स्पीचेस देती थी, तो हम लोग पूरे स्पीचेस लिखते थे. हम लोग वो स्पीच को याद करते थे, भले ही वो स्पीच वैसे ही ना बोले स्टेज पे जाके, बट हमको पता होता था कि चेन ऑफ थॉट क्या है. तो आपको वो चेन ऑफ थॉट को ना 2-3 बार आपके माइंड में घुमाना पड़ता है, ताकि आप यूज टू हो जाओ कि किसके बाद क्या बोलना है. क्योंकि जब हम लोग जैसे इस इवेंट में होते हैं या किसी भी इवेंट में होते हैं ना, तो थोड़ा नर्वसनेस आता है, थोड़ा फियर आता है, जिसकी वजह से क्या होता है, आपका माइंड उतना ज्यादा फंक्शनिंग नहीं रहता जैसे तब रहता है जब आप आराम से बैठे हो. ठीक है, अभी मुझे इतने सारे वर्कशॉप्स करके प्रैक्टिस हो गई है, इसीलिए मैं आप लोगों से आराम से बात कर सकती हूँ. वरना स्टार्टिंग में मुझे भी ये प्रॉब्लम आता था कि नेक्स्ट क्या बोलना है, हम यूजुअली भूल जाते हैं. तो आप स्क्रिप्ट तैयार करो, और जो पॉज होता है ना, जैसे 2 सेंटेंसेस के बीच में, जैसे मैंने अभी लिया एक पॉज, तो वो पॉज लो, उसमें सोचो आपको क्या बोलना है. ठीक है, अभी इतना लंबा पॉज भी मत लो कि आपके ऑडियंस बोर हो जाए, लेकिन एक छोटा सा 3 सेकंड पॉज, काउंट 1 2 3 इन योर माइंड, और फिर बोलो. ठीक है,
Sure. Thank you.
वेलकम.
Ma'am,
यस.
I have also a problem whenever a person who know English less than me, means who has knowledge in English but little bit lesser than me. I am confident to talk in English with him because I know much better English than him. But whenever the person who comes who know much English better than me, I get feared up that he will find mistakes in my English language, and I am mumble to talk in English such that I am now talking with you. So how
Okay,
to
so
solve such
firstly,
problem?
Bhushan, this is a problem, just a problem of perspective. Now, यहाँ पे इंग्लिश का कोई रोल ही नहीं है आपके क्वेश्चन में, बस प्रॉब्लम पर्सपेक्टिव का है कि आपसे जब कोई बात कर रहा है जिसको आपसे अच्छी इंग्लिश नहीं आती, तो आप आराम से बात कर लेते हो. तो जब किसी से बात कर रहे हो जिससे आपको इंग्लिश अच्छे से आती है, उसको ऐसे मत देखो कि इंसान अब मेरी गलतियां निकालेगा. ऐसे देखो कि इंसान मेरी मदद कर रहा है गलतियां निकाल के. पता है, बहुत लोग होते हैं कि जो आपसे अच्छी इंग्लिश बोलते हैं ना, वो बात करके चले जाते हैं, आपने कोई गलती की आपको बताते भी नहीं है. या फिर अगर कोई आप पे हंसता है तो उसका तो कभी टेंशन ही मत लो. आप खुद को हमेशा समझाओ कि मैं सीख रहा हूँ. चाहे कोई इंसान मेरी गलती निकाल रहा हो एक्सक्यूज मी, या मुझे सिखा रहा हो, या मेरी मिस्टेक्स निकाल रहा हो, तो वो इंसान मुझे सिखा रहा है. आप खुद को हमेशा रिमाइंड करो, क्योंकि आपकी इंग्लिश ना आपसे अच्छे लोगों से बात करके इंप्रूव होगी, लाइक जो इंग्लिश में आपसे अच्छे हैं उनसे बात करके इंप्रूव होगी। और मैं खुद मेरे फ्रेंड्स की इतनी गलतियां निकालती हूँ इंग्लिश बोलते हुए, और मैं बहुत ही मतलब शेमलेसली उनकी गलतियां निकालती हूँ, बिकॉज मुझे लगता है कि देखो, अगर तुमने अभी ये चीज समझ ली ना, तुमको बार बार समझने की जरूरत नहीं है। और डरो मत, डरने की कोई बात नहीं है। क्या करेगा वो इंसान? ज्यादा से ज्यादा आप पे हंसेगा, या फिर आपकी गलती निकालेगा, या आपको कुछ बोल देगा। इट्स ओके, यू नो, यू हैव टू जस्ट बी ऑन द साइड ऑफ लर्निंग। और जब आप लर्न कर रहे हो ना, तब हम्बल हो जाओ और सीख लो। एक बार आपने उनसे अच्छा सीख लिया ना, फिर आपको फर्क ही क्या पड़ता है ना कि आप अभी उनसे अच्छी इंग्लिश बात कर रहे हो, खराब इंग्लिश बात कर रहे हो। और जब आप किसी लैंग्वेज में बात करते हो, नया सीख रहे हो ना कुछ भी, तो खुद को कभी भी एक्सपर्ट से कंपेयर मत करो, ओके? क्योंकि उनकी सालों की प्रैक्टिस रहती है, ठीक है? अभी मुझे एक बात बताओ कि अगर सपोज आप जिम जाते हो और आप सही फॉर्म्स में वर्कआउट करना सीख रहे हो, तो क्या आप ट्रेनर को देख के डर जाते हो क्या कि अभी ये मेरी गलती निकालेगा, या किस जो आपसे अच्छा वर्कआउट कर रहा है, आप उसको देख के मोटिवेट होते हो ना कि एक दिन मैं भी इतना ज्यादा वेट लिफ्ट करूंगा या करूंगी, और फिर आप मोटिवेट होके और अच्छा करते हो। सेम इज विद इंग्लिश, ओके? Okay, I have a few messages, so we will go, and then I'll get to the next topic. Sujit Pawar is saying English in my mind 10, English while I speak 6. Why does this happen? Is this due to stage fright? See, if you are saying this, Sujit, it means that you are getting afraid or you're getting nervous. तो जितना ज्यादा आप बोलने की प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हो ना, उतना करो। मतलब अभी आपके माइंड में 10 है, राइट? एंड यू आर स्पीकिंग इन लेवल ऑफ 6. Speak again, then it will get to 7. Speak again, 8, 9, and then it will go to 10. Because if you never speak, it is going to go to 6, 5, 4, 3, 1.
Ma'am, what about pronunciations and accent?
Okay, Vedang, see, pronunciation and accents. Pronunciations you can improve by listening, okay? Listen to people who speak clear English. You can use TED Talks for this purpose, because those people speak clear English with right pronunciation. TED Talks are a very good platform. And accent, when you initially speak, there will be a hint of your mother tongue in the accent, because if you see South Indian people, when they speak English, they have a hint of South Indian touch to their English. If you see North Indian people, they'll have the North Indian touch. So don't worry about the accent so much. Start speaking, and it never happens that you are discarded because of your accent. Accent doesn't matter that much. Once you start speaking properly, your accent will develop automatically, like a natural accent. Don't try to copy any film star, don't try to copy any good expert. Just see how they are pronouncing. स्पीक इन योर नेचुरल एक्सेंट. स्टार्टिंग में आपकी मदर टंग का टच आएगा, और धीरे 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 करके वो मदर टंग का टच भी चला जाता है, और आप खुद की एक्सेंट डेवलप कर लेते हो विद टाइम.
I have another question. Like sometimes when we are speaking now, we don't get the intended reaction from the audience. We are expecting something and there's a pin drop silence. I'm trying to land a joke and they're just looking blank in my face. So what do we do like when something like this happens?
See, Jay, this problem is that you are not able to connect with your audience. That means you first thing is you don't know what your audience are expecting. Now, I'm not saying that you are not you don't have a good sense of humor. Now, if we show our new generation comedian videos to our parents, they are going to say this is not a comedy. This is like they're using bad words. This is not even good comedy. That's what happens. You need to study your audience, that who you are speaking to properly, and then create your content accordingly. Now, there is one question in the chat box. You told about making pre-decided script before speaking. What will you tell about the vloggers? How they should improve their current situation? See, when you see bloggers, they usually use the language they are most comfortable in. Because vlogging is you have to spontaneously speak. अभी आपको कुछ अच्छा सा दिखा आपके बैकग्राउंड में, आप उसके बारे में बात करने लग जाते हो, तो आप वो लैंग्वेज यूज करते हो जिसमें आप ऑलरेडी बहुत अच्छे हो. व्लॉगर्स विल नेवर यूज अ लैंग्वेज दैट दे आर नॉट वेरी कंफर्टेबल इन. बट जब उनको ज्यादा मास को रीच करना है, दे ट्राई टू स्विच लैंग्वेजेस. नाउ व्हेन दिस हैपेंस, those people also have not an in-depth script, but a pointers. I have seen the background of vloggers. They see everything around them, then decide कि अच्छा मुझे ये सब चीजों के बारे में बात करना है, and then they center their mind and prepare of what am I going to say. ठीक है? ऐसे बहुत कम vloggers होते हैं जो स्पॉन्टेनियसली एकदम ही न्यू लैंग्वेज है और स्पॉन्टेनियसली बात करने लग गए, उनकी लैंग्वेज स्किल्स फिर बहुत ही ज्यादा एलीट लेवल पे होती है, बट ब्लॉगर्स यूजुअली प्रेफर द लैंग्वेज दे आर मोस्ट कंफर्टेबल इन, and if they're not that comfortable, you will see that their speech has become slow. Now there was one blogger, I don't remember his or her name, but switched the language from English to Hindi just to reach more audience, and his speed of speaking became very slow. Okay, so you have to look at everything while you're talking about something like blogging. Okay, so we took many questions. We will also take questions at the end of the video. We have to move to the next topic because just about English we have covered like 40 minutes. So let's speak about confidence now. Now again guys, rate your confidence on a scale of 1 to 10 in the comment box, chat box. Wow, Pradesh said 9 upon 10. Good. Is my PPT visible to you all?
Yeah.
Okay, so I spoke about a lot many things, but let me tell you that some things that I had to tell you, so I wrote it in this PPT, that we will summarize everything that I said. Good communication is about understanding people, what they want, and being understood. That means you should present yourself clear enough so that people can easily understand you. A person who is able to communicate properly really stands out of the crowd. मतलब कोई इंसान है जिसकी बातें आपको डायरेक्टली समझ में आ रही है, जैसे वो बोल रहा है, तो आप उससे इंस्टेंटेनियसली कनेक्ट हो जाते हो और वो अलग ही दिख के आता है. द चांस ऑफ गेटिंग व्हाट यू वांट इंक्रीजेस. नाउ आपके जो भी आइडियाज है या आप जो भी करना चाहते हो, अगर आप अच्छे से बोलोगे तो वो एक्नॉलेज होती है, आपको जो चाहिए वो मिलता है, और आपकी जो आइडिया है वो आपसे एसोसिएट होती है, मतलब आपकी एक ब्रांड वैल्यू बनती है. जैसे आप जो भी अभी इन्फ्लुएंसर्स को ग्रो करते देख रहे हो, उन्होंने खुद के बहुत अच्छे पर्सनल ब्रांड्स बनाए हैं. या फिर जो भी लोग कॉर्पोरेट्स में जाने के बाद ट्रेनी लेवल से जब अपर लेवल्स पे जाते हैं, वो अपनी कंपनी में अपनी ब्रांड वैल्यू एस्टैब्लिश करते हैं. जैसे ये पर्टिकुलर स्किल है, you want a front end expert, then you should go to this person. You want a person who is specialized in this particular skill, then you should go to this person. ऐसे खुद की ब्रांड वैल्यू क्रिएट करने के लिए communication is very important. Now this is going to be the workshop flow. We have already completed about fluently speaking in English. Now we will talk about confidence. Then I have an exercise for you guys. We'll talk about some part of interview etiquettes in today's session, and we will also have one more session because the amount of content that I want to cover will not be completely covered in a 1.5 hour session as I saw right now. And you guys are having so many doubts, so I would love to clear those doubts. So one thing that I forgot to tell you all is that use very short sentences while speaking in English. When you are a beginner, you should prefer using short sentences, and communicating your idea in less number of words is really a skill. So try to make short sentences, because what happens, you try to make one big sentence and you forget what you want to say next. Okay, so use short sentences when you start. Everything else I have covered. Okay, so now let's talk about confidence. Just have a look at the PPT. Okay, so now you see confidence के बारे में जब भी हम बात करते हैं, you might have heard many times लोगों से बोलते हुए कि fake it till you make it, कि जब तक आपको confidence नहीं होता आप ऐसे ही जाओ, go in courage, have bravery, go on stage, speak it, and then fake it till you make it is a temporary solution. You should never fake anything. If you really want to be a very powerful person in your own personality, I'm not saying powerful in terms of external things, but internal power, then you should not fake anything. My whole communication skill agenda, or everything that I am trying to propagate, is based on authenticity. Authenticity मतलब क्या, कि आप जो बोल रहे हो ना वो आपके दिल से आ रहा है. भले ही आप स्क्रिप्ट बना रहे हो बोलने से पहले, बट जो स्क्रिप्ट में भी लिख रहे हो ना, वही लिख रहे हो जिसके साथ आप रेजोनेट करते हो. आप बस लोगों की आइडियाज को एक करके कुछ नहीं प्रेजेंट कर रहे हो. या यू एज अ पर्सन, यू आर नॉट अ पर्सन ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस. मतलब जैसे कि अगर मैं आपसे बात कर रही हूँ, ठीक है, और मैंने आपसे बात करने से पहले सपोज 10 दूसरे कम्युनिकेशन कोचेस के वीडियोस देखे, ठीक है, और मैं आके उनका सब कुछ कुछ अलग अलग पिक करके बाद आपसे बात कर रही हूँ, तो मेरे अंदर आपसे बात करने का कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आएगा। मे बी कुछ लोगों को ना पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि दिस इज नॉट समथिंग दैट इज हर ऑथेंटिक वर्क, कि ये सबका कलेक्ट करके बस बता रही। कुछ लोगों को पता चलेगा, कुछ लोगों को पता नहीं भी चलेगा, बट आपको हमेशा पता होता है। योर कॉन्फिडेंस शुड कम फ्रॉम अ बेसिक स्ट्रॉन्ग फाउंडेशन। तो ये बेसिक स्ट्रॉन्ग फाउंडेशन होता कहाँ पे है? हम लोग कॉन्फिडेंट क्यों नहीं फील करते मैक्सिमम ऑफ द टाइम, इस क्योंकि हमने ना खुद को एक्सप्लोर नहीं किया है अच्छे से। कॉन्फिडेंट क्यों नहीं फील करते? क्योंकि हम दूसरों की आइडियाज से बहुत ज्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस होते हैं और उनके जैसे बनने की कोशिश करते हैं, जबकि इन फैक्ट वन ऑफ द लाइफ गोल्स ये होते हैं कि आप अपने आप से और डीपर लेवल पे कनेक्ट करते जाओ, और जितना डीप कनेक्ट करोगे ना उतने ज्यादा आप कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाओगे। तो अब ये डीप कनेक्शंस और ये सब चीजें इस्टेब्लिश कैसे करते हैं ये मैं आप लोगों को बताऊंगी। और कॉन्फिडेंस को सबसे ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट करती है, या जो बेस वर्क की मैं बात कर रही हूं, वो है आपकी सेल्फ वर्थ और आपकी सेल्फ एस्टीम। सेल्फ वर्थ मतलब क्या होता है? सेल्फ वर्थ मतलब कि आप खुद को अगर एक वैल्यू देना चाहते हो तो आप कितनी वैल्यू दोगे। जैसे मैंने आपको क्या बोला कि आप अपने कॉन्फिडेंस को रेट करो 1 या 10 के लेवल पे, तो कॉन्फिडेंस के टर्म्स में आपकी सेल्फ वर्थ आपने बताई अभी मैसेजेस के बॉक्स में, ठीक है। तो सेल्फ वर्थ जो है ना, वो हमारी किस चीज से शेप होती रहती है? ह्यूमन बीइंग्स आर सोशल पीपल, ठीक है, हम लोग सोशल एनिमल्स है। हम लोग जितना दूसरों की हेल्प करते हैं या दूसरों के जितना काम आते हैं, हम साइकोलॉजिकली अपनी सेल्फ वर्थ बढ़ाते हैं, और हम खुद की एक्सपेक्टेशंस को जितना पूरा कर पाते हैं उतनी हम अपनी सेल्फ वर्थ बढ़ाते हैं। और इसी का ऑपोजिट, अगर हम खुद की एक्सपेक्टेशंस को अच्छे से नहीं पूरी कर पा रहे, बाहर के जो लोग अपने को मैटर करते हैं उनकी एक्सपेक्टेशंस को अच्छे से पूरा नहीं कर पा रहे, तो ये सेल्फ वर्थ कम होती है। ये हो गया सेल्फ वर्थ। इसका दूसरा एलिमेंट है सेल्फ एस्टीम। सेल्फ एस्टीम का मतलब क्या है कि आपकी खुद की नजरों में इमेज कैसी है, मतलब ओवरऑल इमेज कैसी है। यहाँ पर मैं वैल्यू या वर्थ के टर्म्स में बात नहीं कर रही, इमेज कैसी है। अगर मैंने अभी आपसे कहा कि आप किस चीज में सबसे अच्छे हो और आपने एक लिस्ट बनाई और आपका ध्यान उस लिस्ट पे गया, तो आपकी सेल्फ एस्टीम अच्छी लेवल पे रहती है। तो अगर कोई आपकी, और मैंने आपको एक लिस्ट बनाने बोली कि जिसमें आप वीक हो, ठीक है, तो आपको पता है कि इन चीजों पे अभी आप काम कर रहे हो, दिस इज योर एरिया ऑफ स्ट्रेच। स्ट्रेच मतलब कि आपको खुद को एक्सपैंड करना पड़ता है आपके लिमिट के ऊपर, और फिर जाके आप ये चीजें कर पाते हो। अगर सपोज आप इसके बारे में अवेयर हो और आपको कोई क्रिटिसाइज कर रहा है, जैसे इंग्लिश की जो बात चल रही है अभी, कि इंग्लिश में बात करने के लिए हम अभी सीख रहे हैं, वी आर नॉट एक्सपर्ट्स, तो आपको किसी ने अगर बोल दिया कि आप इंग्लिश में, जस्ट अ मिनट, वील टेक द क्वेश्चंस लेटर ऑन। अगर आपको किसी ने बोल दिया कि इंग्लिश में अच्छे नहीं हो, आप अभी और इम्प्रूव करो, तो आपको पता है कि इंग्लिश में आप अच्छे नहीं हो और आप इम्प्रूव कर रहे हो, आपके कॉन्फिडेंस को यहाँ धक्का नहीं पहुंचता। लेकिन अगर आपकी सेल्फ एस्टीम लो है, आप हमेशा वो वीकनेस के लिस्ट के बारे में सोचते रहते हो कि मेरी इंग्लिश वीक है, मुझे ये नहीं आता, मुझे अच्छे मार्क्स नहीं आते, मेरा बैकग्राउंड इंग्लिश मीडियम का नहीं है, मतलब आप उन हर चीज के बारे में सोचते हो जो आपको इंग्लिश में अच्छा करने से रोकती है। और फिर आपको कोई बोल देता है कि आपकी इंग्लिश अच्छी नहीं, आप ट्रिगर हो जाते हो, आपका सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस पूरा जमीन के नीचे चला जाता है। तो सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस आपके सेल्फ वर्थ और सेल्फ एस्टीम पर डिपेंड करता है। सेल्फ वर्थ को हम कैसे इंटैक्ट रखेंगे? हम खुद के एक्सपेक्टेशंस के बारे में अवेयर रहेंगे और खुद के एक्सपेक्टेशंस को पूरा करने की कोशिश करेंगे, बैलेंस बनाएंगे खुद के एक्सपेक्टेशंस और लोगों के एक्सपेक्टेशंस के बीच में। और फिर सेल्फ एस्टीम को कैसे प्लेस में रखते हैं? यू शुड हैव अ लिस्ट ऑफ योर स्ट्रेंथ्स एंड ऑफ योर वीकनेसेस को मैं वीकनेसेस नहीं बोलूंगी इसके बाद इस सेशन में, वी विल कॉल इट स्ट्रेचेस। We'll make a list of stretches and you'll always tell yourself that I'm working on this. आप बहाने नहीं बनाओगे स्ट्रेचेस के बारे में कि मुझे ये नहीं आता तो मैं करूंगा ही नहीं, and you'll also not degrade your confidence when somebody triggers you about your stretches. So this is how you will keep your self-esteem and your self-confidence in place. अभी सबसे बड़ा पार्ट, the showstopper of self-confidence is your personal narrative. अब पर्सनल नैरेटिव क्या होता है? हम खुद के बारे में खुद को एक कहानी सुनाते रहते हैं हमेशा। ये कहानी ही हमारा पर्सनल नैरेटिव है। अब हमारे पास्ट एक्सपीरियंसेस, हमारा प्रेजेंट एक्सपीरियंस और हमारा फ्यूचर एक्सपेक्टेशन, मतलब हमारा पास्ट, प्रेजेंट, फ्यूचर, ये तीन चीजें हमारे पर्सनल नैरेटिव को इफेक्ट करती है। पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस मतलब चाइल्डहुड से आया हुआ सारा एक्सपीरियंस, और इसमें की सिलेक्टिव चीजें हमने याद रखी है और सिलेक्टिव चीजें हमको याद नहीं है, हमारे कॉन्शियस अंडरस्टैंडिंग में नहीं है। फ्यूचर में हमारे एम्बिशंस क्या है उसके बारे में सोचते रहते हैं, और फ्यूचर और पास्ट के इस टग ऑफ वॉर में अगर आपका पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस में से आपने वो चीजों को अपने माइंड में रखा है जहाँ पे आपको बहुत ज्यादा क्या बोलते हैं ना पेन के साथ एसोसिएट होना पड़ा है, या फिर यू हैव ऑलवेज फेल्ट अंडर कॉन्फिडेंट और यू हैव ऑलवेज बीन क्रिटिसाइज्ड फॉर थिंग्स, and on the basis of that past experience you're predicting your future, that whenever similar situation comes in front of me I am not going to act at the most of my potential. So this degrades your confidence. Okay, so from today you are going to write your own narrative. What does this mean? कि आप खुद की कहानी लिखोगे। सबसे पहले हम डील करेंगे पास्ट के साथ। देखो जो मैं इस सेशन में बता रही हूँ ना, ये कॉन्फिडेंस का परमानेंट सोल्यूशन है कि आपको आपके कॉन्फिडेंस पे आप काम करने लगते हो। जो वीडियोस में यूजुअली हम बताते हैं या कॉन्फिडेंस के बारे में जो कॉन्फिडेंस कोचेस बताते हैं ना, ये सिर्फ सिम्टम्स को ट्रीट करते रहते हैं हर चीज के। जो मैं आपको बता रही हूँ ना वो रूट कॉज है कॉन्फिडेंस का। वो रूट क्या है? आपका इमेज जो आपके माइंड में खुद के बारे में है। तो अब इस इमेज को आप खुद ठीक करोगे। कैसे करेंगे? सबसे पहले पास्ट। हम लोग हमारे जो पास्ट के खराब एक्सपीरियंसेस है या फिर नेगेटिव एक्सपीरियंसेस है उनको बहुत ज्यादा पकड़ के अगर रखने की अपनी आदत है, इसका मतलब ये है कि आपने आपके पास्ट एक्सपीरियंसेस से सीखा नहीं है। Once you learn from your past experience, you are likely to dissociate with it. Okay, and why am I able to speak on this topic so much? Because I have studied confidence from a psychological perspective. मैं साइकोलॉजी के पर्सपेक्टिव से कॉन्फिडेंस पे बहुत ज्यादा स्टडी कर चुकी हूँ, बिकॉज मुझे नहीं लगता कि हमने सिर्फ सरफेस पे बातें करनी चाहिए, हमने डेप्थ में जाके समझना चाहिए। तो पास्ट से आपको सीखना पड़े। आपको जो भी इंसिडेंट आपके सामने बार बार आता है, जैसे कि सपोज स्टेज पे कभी ना आप अटक गए अचानक से, और जब भी नेक्स्ट टाइम आप स्टेज पे जाते हैं ना आपको वही याद आता है, एंड साइकोलॉजिकली दिस हैपेंस एनी टाइम। यू नो आपका पिछला इंटरव्यू खराब गया था, आप नेक्स्ट इंटरव्यू में जा रहे हो, आपको वही सब याद आ रहा है जो पिछले इंटरव्यू में हुआ था। तो उस इंसिडेंट के बारे में आप एक डायरी में या किसी भी जगह पे लिखो, एंड लिखो what have I learned out of it, what am I supposed to learn out of this incident. Write everything that you can learn from that incident. If you know you have got feedbacks like you need to develop on this particular skill of yours, ठीक है, आपके प्रोजेक्ट में आपका ये चेंजेस होने चाहिए थे, आपने ऐसे प्रोजेक्ट्स करने चाहिए थे, आपके प्रोजेक्ट में ये कमी थी, या फिर आपको आपके पर्सनालिटी रिलेटेड फीडबैक्स मिलते थे कि आप थोड़ा स्लो बात करना चाहिए, आपने थोड़ा फास्ट बात करना चाहिए। जब इससे रिलेटेड चीजें आपको मिलती है तो आप उस पर काम करो। आप आपके नैरेटिव सेक्शन के पास्ट में आपको जो भी सीखना है ना आपके पास्ट से वो लिखो, और फ्यूचर के बारे में जब भी सोच रहे हो और अगर एंशियस हो रहे हो, एंशियस मतलब परेशान हो रहे हो फ्यूचर के बारे में, जो कि अपने जनरेशन में ना बहुत कॉमन प्रॉब्लम है फ्यूचर को लेके एंशियस होना। क्यों? क्योंकि हमारी जो जनरेशन है वो चेंज बहुत फास्ट हो रहा है अपनी जनरेशन में, तो हम बहुत इजीली प्रेडिक्ट नहीं कर पाते। तो ये समझना कि मेरा प्रेजेंट मेरे कंट्रोल में है, और मैं जो अभी प्रेजेंट में करूंगा वही मेरा फ्यूचर डिसाइड होगा। तो आपके प्रेजेंट एक्शंस को अच्छे से समझ के करना, कॉन्शियसली करना। टेक कॉन्शियस चार्ज ऑफ योर प्रेजेंट कि आप कैसे एक्शंस कर रहे हो। जैसे आपका एक कॉन्शियस एक्शन था कि आज कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स की वर्कशॉप अटेंड करनी है, इससे फ्यूचर में क्या हुआ, आपकी सर्टेन स्किल्स को एक बूस्ट मिल गया, आपको डायरेक्शन मिल गई कि आपको प्रोग्रेस कैसे करना है। अगर आप ये समझ लेते हो कि कौन सी चीज पे मैं कंट्रोल कर सकता हूँ, कौन सी चीज पे मेरा कंट्रोल नहीं है, तो आपकी ओवर थिंकिंग की भी अगर प्रॉब्लम होगी तो ये खत्म होगी। नाउ कॉन्फिडेंस इज योर सम टोटल ऑफ ऑल दीज एक्सपीरियंसेस। तो अगर आप इसमें से एंजाइटी, ओवर थिंकिंग, सेल्फ डाउट, ये सारी चीजें निकालते हो तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस सही जगह पे रहता है, और आपको पता होता है कि मेरे पास ऑफर करने के लिए कुछ है, मेरे पास कुछ है जो मैं इस दुनिया को दे सकता हूँ। वो आपकी सेल्फ एस्टीम से आता है। याद है हमने स्ट्रेंथ की लिस्ट के बारे में बात की थी, तो ये सारी चीजें हैं जो आप दुनिया को ऑफर कर सकते हो। तो ये जो ऑफरिंग की एक सर्विस की एक फीलिंग होती है ना, ये बहुत अच्छा कॉन्फिडेंस देती है। अब जितने भी अच्छे स्पीकर्स को देखोगे ना, वो इतना कॉन्फिडेंटली क्यों बोल पाते हैं? बिकॉज दे नो व्हाट दे हैव टू ऑफर। आई नो इन दिस वर्कशॉप व्हाट आई हैव टू ऑफर। President of the country knows what he has to offer as a president of the country. A teacher knows what he has to offer while teaching in the class. That is why they are confident. So confidence is this big topic, and I have told you the secret of being confident all the time. ऐसा confidence जो fluctuate करता रहे वो किसी काम का नहीं है. और जब भी ऐसा हो कि results आप जो कर रहे हो उसके आपके expectation के accordingly ना आए, जैसे कोई इंटरव्यू आपका अच्छा नहीं जाए, कोई भी हो, तो आप उसी दिन उसके बारे में इंट्रोस्पेक्ट करो, उसके बारे में लिखो कि आपने सीखा क्या. अगर आपका फोकस लर्निंग है तो आप कभी भी लो कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं होते. आपको थोड़ी देर बुरा लगता है, देन यू बाउंस बैक वेरी क्विकली. जैसे मैंने अभी आपसे कहा कि हमारे पास होना चाहिए एक स्ट्रेंथ एंड वीकनेस का लिस्ट. सो व्हाट वी विल डू नाउ इज we will make a list of our best qualities. ठीक है, जो हम दुनिया को ऑफर कर सकते हैं. What are some of our best qualities and some of the qualities that we need to improve on. Okay, so be authentic while writing. यहाँ पे हमको शो ऑफ नहीं करना. आई एम नॉट सम हायरिंग मैनेजर दैट आई एम गोइंग टू हायर यू ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ योर क्वालिटीज एंड रिजेक्ट यू ऑन दिस. Be very honest while you write this list. I'll give you 5 minutes of time, and then I want you all to share this list with me. Like, speak about it. How do you feel while doing the work that you're good at? How do you feel while doing the work that you're not good at? You know, when we will interact, other people who are listening to us will be able to learn properly. And this is how we actually learn, by observing human beings. So should we start? Okay, so do we have a list? Okay, so let's start. Some of you please start. Who will start? I want Pradnesh to start. You know, he said he has 9 on 10 confidence. Come on, Pradnesh, you have to prove it now. Is he there in the meeting?
Yes, ma'am. I'm there.
Yes. Okay, so tell me about your strengths and stretches.
So right now I was listing some of my strong points. So there are few of them, like vocabulary. I'm preparing for GRE exam from right now. So actually I'm in the first year engineering of IT. So but I'm preparing for GRE exam. So for that I'm practicing vocabulary daily. Like I'm what you can say. I am listing the words from the movies, books, and series, the hard words, and I am using in my own language. So I also like to construct poems. So I like poetry. So I use them. Use those hard, difficult words in my poetry. So that really helps me to construct one sentence with hard words. So, but the thing is, this is kind of double-edged sword. Like while I am using those hard words, I tend to like some people believe that I am flaunting my vocabulary. Are you getting my point?
But tell me one thing, Pradnesh. Do you like when do you feel good when you use those words?
Yes, definitely. I
Then
like
it is
those
your
points.
strength. Then it is your strength. See, first thing that I want to make a correction is you don't construct poems, you compose poems. Okay, like compose is a better word. You compose poems, and poetry is like, you know, flowing your own feelings and thoughts in a way that that is nice to you. Okay, poetry is the expression of yourself. So if you're using new words to express yourself, it is an additional benefit for you. Okay, so when you have a target audience, for suppose you want to reach to people who are not so much into English and heavy words, then you can try writing poetry in a simpler word. So it is on your goal. If self-expression is your goal, go ahead and do whatever you like to do in your poetry. If reaching class audience is your goal, like the people who like to have those kind of words and those kind of language in their consumption of information, then for class audience, you're doing whatever you're doing is perfect. If you want to reach to mass audience, then you have to come to the lower level of the language. So whatever is your goal, you have to act according to that. Okay, so Pradnesh, any of your weak points?
So weak point is, I guess it's fluency. I mean, sometimes when I practice while talking with my brother or friends, like you said, so there are few friends that they have elite English or they are practicing daily. So I tend to lack in my fluency. Or, so that's the point.
Okay, so as we know our stretch, so just beside the stretch, write your call of action. So Pradnesh, tell me what is going to be the call of action for this particular stretch of not being so fluent. What are you going to do to improve it?
Okay, so I am improving like I am muttering in English with myself. So I like to mutter with myself a lot. So whenever I'm alone, I usually tend to talk with myself, my strength. I like to summarize the whole day, like what I have done right now, what I am doing, and what is my goal. This everything will be in English. So
Okay.
I'm
So Pradnesh, you're on
practicing
the right
daily.
track. You're perfectly on the right track, and I wish you all the best. Anyone else wants to share their strength and stretches list? Nobody? You know, first year students cannot be so silent. When I was in college and I'm interacting with first year crowd, I mean, it was in person interaction, but these people, you know, they had so much to share. They have just come from the 11th and 12th to the first year, and they have so much to share. Has lockdown really bored you that much that you don't want to share anything? Okay, I don't want to call out names, but please, on your own, let's do it.
Hello,
Let's in. Huh?
am I audible?
Yes, Samruddhi.
Yes. So about my strengths, I guess it is love to learning. Like I love learning new things, especially languages, and yeah, it's also about speaking. Like I like to talk a lot. Like म्हणतो ना, बडबडी आहे and all. So I'm that kind of person.
Great.
But my stretches are like maths. Like I do love maths, but in between, like I started feeling like, okay, I can do this, so I'll do it later. And the procrastination is one of
So
my biggest
procrastination is
stretch.
your stretch.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I guess the call of action would be to just do the things right then. Like if there's something in my mind, then instead of putting it to do off later in my list, I should try to prioritize my things and then do them accordingly. And it's also about consistency is my stretch. Like I just cannot be consistent in a thing which I decide to do.
You know,
So
Samruddhi, I was one of the people who had consistency in the stretch list, but I am very proud that I have turned it into my strength list now. That when I was in college, consistency was an issue for me, and I have literally dived deep in this topic of procrastination and consistency. Why do we procrastinate? Is because, you know, there is an underlying fear that we are not aware of.
yes,
You might be
exactly.
having some fear related to mathematics or solving that you're not aware of. You know, something has triggered you that way. So whenever next time you are starting to doing maths and your body is resisting it, your system is resisting it, you're going to, like, you know, this is a good technique, like count 1 2 3 4 5 and get started. Either you're able to solve the problem, not solve the problem, sit there. Because what happens, the control goes from your reptilian mind, that is your animal mind, to your conscious, that is your CEO mind, we can say. You know, it is called the prefrontal cortex. The CEO mind, it will take charge, the rational mind will take charge and get things done for you. When you're procrastinating, our rational mind is not in charge, and when we say 1 2 3 4 5, you have to do it now, you're conscious, your rational mind takes charge. Okay, so this is the reason why you procrastinate. You can work on procrastination like this, and I have, you know, solved this issue of procrastination forever in my life. So all the best. Anybody else?
Yes. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bhushan.
Yes, Bhushan.
So I want to share my strength and stretches. So my strength is I want to make everyone happy, means those who are in my environment. I want to make them so much comfortable and happy, and I want to help everybody. Um but my stretch is whenever I try to help anyone, he thinks that he is not helping, he is just taking up my time. So I think.
See, Bhushan, when I ask you about your strengths, first of all, is you have to tell something that you're good at. Are you good at helping people?
Yeah,
Oh,
they thanks me so much. Means the friend who has I helped 4 years ago is thank me this year also for helping at that year. He said that thank you for helping me.
okay. So, I'll tell you one thing, Bhushan. Helping people is like a gift. Okay. Now, I have done social work for almost 4 or 5 years of my life now. And what I've learned through this journey is that, you give this gift to the people who are in need of it, who acknowledge that I am in need. You help the people who need it. You don't go out helping everybody. Like, if you are, you have extra money in your pocket and you want to give, you will give it to the person who lacks money. Okay. Who doesn't have money. You won't go and give the money to a rich person. That rich person will say that I don't need it. Why are you even helping me? I don't need your help. And when people say that I don't need you or I don't need your help, this actually degrades our self-worth. We think we are not worthy enough to help the person, but the problem is you're helping the wrong person. Find the person who needs your help and then help. Okay. Now, if I go and take this communication skills workshop for the people who are absolutely amazing in speaking, they'll say, you know all of this, why are you even telling us that? That's what help is done. You give help like a gift. You give it to the people who need it. Okay. This will increase your self-worth. You give it to the people who don't need it, it is going to decrease your self-worth. Okay. So Pratiksha, and Pratiksha is going to be, I think, the last person who will say this. Yeah, Pratiksha.
Yes, ma'am. I'm very curious about the things. Means, I found a thing which is new to me. Then I search on it, Google, on YouTube, and get the more and more information about it. And I'm very creative that if in paper craft also and in painting, I explore many ideas and I implement it. My weakness is I become angry very quickly. Means anger is my weakness, and I have a fear to communicate in English with people which are more better than me in English. And uh, I have always, means in every background, I have a fear about the people, that what will they think if I do blah blah thing like that.
Okay, so Pratiksha, you are one of the people who has spoken about her stretches very properly. Like, you have mentioned like 3 stretches in this talk, and this shows that you are very self-aware. Okay, so put this in your strength list that I am a self-aware person, and what is making you self-aware is your curiosity. Okay, curiosity is the biggest gift a person has. Curious. Even I am a very curious person. It helps you learn a lot. I mean, a curious person cannot sit idle. He or she is always thinking of new ideas, doing new things, expanding your horizons. It's a very good trait to have. Curiosity is a good thing. Congratulations for it. And talking about the stretches, you said that you get angry very quickly. Now tell me, what is going to be the call of action for this particular stretch? Do you have any?
I have to control my mind from becoming angry. Mm.
How are you
Uh,
going to do it?
Means I don't know what are the resources, but I have to do this.
See, I'll tell you very easy thing how to control your anger, or even if you have anger issues, whenever you observe yourself getting angry, okay, you stop for that particular time. Okay, you do deep breathing. You can count, or you can just go and write it in your diary. Get the energy that is coming out of you. Okay, what we usually want to do when we get angry is we want to shout on somebody and then respond from a position of power, that your thoughts now are in your own control, and now you're responding. See, when we get angry about something, we should not just hold that anger back. Okay, but we should analyze what part of my anger is valid, what part is invalid, and you should communicate that anger in a very good way. Like, if your employee has done something that is really harmful for your company and you want that employee to know it, you are going to give that feedback to the employee. You have to do it. Okay, and you are going to tell how important the the thing was and what the mistake has caused. So it is important to express, but not in a rash way. Okay, we are going to do it in a dignified way. Okay, so you are going to dignifiedly express your anger. Okay, and
Yes, ma'am. I think every time that I decide that I will not angry, I will not shout anyone. But when the time comes, it happens.
see,
And
you don't make. Hmm.
after the anger become less, then I realize that it's not a good thing. I should not have do this.
See, don't make this thing in your mind that you should not get angry. Getting angry is a natural thing. Okay, if you're getting angry, just stop yourself from shouting. Because shouting, what is it going to do? It's going to ruin your relationship with the speaker, with the listener. Okay, you're just not going to shout. You don't say to yourself, I'm not going to get angry, because that is not in your control right now. Maybe when you do advanced meditations and all those things, you might get control over it. But right now, getting angry, not getting angry is not in your control. So when you get angry, you're just going to stop, hold yourself back, process everything, and then express. You have to express. See, when you have that much energy in your mind, your body, you have to express it in a way. So you are going to express it. Okay, that is your call of action.
Okay, ma'am, I will try that.
Okay. So,
Hello,
yes, you have anything to say?
yes, ma'am. My strength is my problem solving skills, and my weakness is I am not speak English in confidently.
Okay. So tell me, what is going to be your call of action in speaking good English? What are you going to do after the workshop?
First learn grammar and then start.
All those people who are saying that your fluency is not good and you are going to learn grammar, I want you all to give me a feedback after a few days. Like, you can follow me on Instagram. You can drop your queries on the account igniter_rutuja, because I respond to queries on that particular account, and I want you all to tell me if you have really improved. Because see, after this session, if you let the knowledge just pass away, whatever you have gathered in the session today, it is not going to be of any use to you. This 1.5 hour of time of yours and mine will get wasted. So what you should do is you should stay in touch with people who are helping you do such things. Okay, so I have a YouTube channel, I have an Instagram account, I have LinkedIn. Whatever is favorable to you, stay connected with me or any other senior who is helping you, or a person who had mastered that particular subject. So you can ask your queries, stay in flow of learning. So how do you stay in flow? You can ask me queries, I will give you feedbacks so that you can stay in flow. People who are seriously committed towards growing their personality, committed towards learning English properly, then please stay in touch with me. I would love to help. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Hello.
so
Good afternoon, Rutuja. Will it be okay if I call you as Rutuja? Because it will
yeah,
be more comfortable thing to talk. Do we have time limit, Rutuja? If I could have my sayings.
just a minute. What we are going Aditya, what we
Yes,
are going to do is that we are going to have a game in which everybody is like, people who want to speak will get a chance at the end. A very big important topic is regarding interviews. I have to cover that before we go to that game. Let me cover that topic and then I'll get back to you. Is that
all
fine?
right. No problem. No problem. Fine, fine. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so how many of you have given interviews and you think those interviews you have not performed at your best? Just type yes, 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 yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so interview. Now when you go to your interview, we have thousands of thoughts going inside our mind here and there. What I want you all to essentially do is, before entering any interview of any kind, be prepared. Be prepared with your technical stuff, be prepared about your projects, whatever skills that are required for the interview. Read the job profile carefully, what skills are required. You don't want to make a fool of yourself that these were the job profile description. and then you went to the interview and they said that what we are looking for is not in your skill set. We don't want that to happen. So read job descriptions properly, see what skills that are required, then apply for the interview, then go to the interview. Now, how to boost your confidence in the interview? First, by being prepared. Second, please play the strength list in your mind. What are you going to serve? Okay, like if I go to the interview, in the first second of, first or second minute of interaction with the person, that person should be able to know that my communication skills are good. And how that person is going to know it? While giving my introduction. Give a very clean introduction. When you're introducing yourself in the interview, you should give very clean introduction. Keep it very simple. Okay, don't tell a lot about your family history, who like your parents' names, and don't go with personal things. Keep it very crisp and professional. Like I have written one introduction. You simply say, my name is, I am from, and then whatever degree you are pursuing, you can take a screenshot of this. Then I have majorly built projects on this particular platforms. You can also, what you can also do is, like people who are not from engineering background, make sure you talk about your work, your projects. Okay, talk about the impact. Okay, then you can talk about internships that you have done. And when you talk about internship, specify what was your work. Like, for example, you have like just an example, you have done the internship of a receptionist at a hospital, for example. Okay, then you can say that I was a receptionist at the hospital, and I have by doing that job, I have become expert at handling Excel sheets. Or work allocation, I've become good with dealing with people. So what that internship has made an impact on you, you have to tell about it. Okay, so write your introduction part carefully. Now, especially first and second year students, in your third year, you might be applying for internships, or now on LinkedIn, you will be writing mails to the people. Keep your introduction ready. Okay, once you keep your introduction ready, read it out, show it to people, ask them if this introduction is proper, and keep practicing on your introduction. Because from your introduction itself, this will make it clear that your communication skills are good. Okay, and you'll finally say that that was all about myself. Don't talk about the things that you don't know. Okay, don't talk about the internship that you have just done, and actually there was no work in the internship, you have done it just for the namesake. You'll get caught in the interview. Talk about the projects that you have really built. You know each and everything about the project, at least your part. Okay, your work allocation, talk about that. And what you don't know, you'll simply say, I don't know. Interviewers kind of like to throw such questions on people that are really difficult questions, or you think you don't know. Then just say that I don't know. Okay, if you try to give false answers, or if you try to fake anything, then you will get caught in the loop of question and answer. Now what generally happens is, in the interview, we are a little bit nervous. So if first question comes, we don't know the answer. What we do, we try to defend ourselves. We try to give excuses. They'll ask you why this particular element is not there in your project. It would have made it better. Okay, what we do is we start defending ourselves. Okay, one sentence of defense is good. Give one sentence of defense and then say, so your idea is really good. We'll try to inculcate in this project next time. Now, what this showed is that you take feedback constructively. Okay, so kind of answers you give to the person. So what we are going to do is, you are going to validate interviewer's point and then give your perspective too. You're going to take care of both the sides. It is not just going to be about you while speaking in the interview. It is going to be about you, your work, what the company is expecting for you, and showing the image that you are a team player. You take feedbacks constructively, and you don't put down others while you're working. This is what people want to see essentially when they start working from an HR perspective. I'm talking from a human resource perspective. I'm not talking from a technical perspective right now. Technically, one thing is required. You should know the skill properly. And if you know the skill properly, then comes the human resource part, that you are clear about what you want. What kind of questions are asked in the interview? For example, why do you want to join this company? Now there are ready-made answers on Google and YouTube of why do you want to join this company, and if you go and say the same answers, the HR will understand that okay, it is the same answer. It is not going to create any different impact. You are going to give your unique answer. Okay, now let me tell you what answer did I give at Cognizant, and I was really appreciated by the interviewer for giving that answer. He said that I have never heard this answer before. He asked me, why do you want to join Cognizant only? Because there are so many companies coming to your college. I said, sir, while there was a presentation going on where people from the company, the HRs, were explaining the job profile to students, I felt really relatable with the people. I felt like these people were one of my college faculties. I did not feel like these people were from some foreign company which came and then expressed. I was able to connect with your company. I resonate with the job profile, and that is why I want to join your company. Now, my answer was customized according to Cognizant. I said something that was authentic. I really liked the way they presented, because there were so many companies who came to the campus, they gave the presentation, and we hardly understood what was the job profile. Okay, and in this particular presentation that Cognizant gave, the HR personally answered questions that students were putting in the chat box, and she really talked in depth about what was the concern student had according to the things. So she gave a customized reply to her answers, so we were able to better connect with her. That kind of answer was we to give. So that is what I'm saying in the interviews. The first thing is to be authentic. Okay, so be as original as you can. Original means what? Put your thoughts and perspectives forward that you have generated so far. Okay, and then when you say, also say the things that interviewer wants to hear from you, that you're excited to work for this job, your skills are well developed, you'll learn a lot while working in that particular job, and then what you have to offer to the company. Okay, the main thing that you'll talk about is what you have to offer to the company. Now these became about the things that you will talk. Okay, now something that you don't talk but HRs and interviewers always observe. What is it? Your body language, your verbal communication. Never slouch, never ever slouch or put an off closed body language. Never sit like this in the interview. If it's an online interview, never sit like this. This shows that किसी ने तुमको बांध के रखा है ऐसे वो इंटरव्यू के लिए. Have an open body language. Use your hands as much as possible, because now you're saying I use my hands too much while speaking. Now how is this possible? Because I let my thoughts flow and my energy flow. And we human beings, we pick up on each other's non-verbal communication, on each other's energies. So that person should be able to see your excitement from your body language. And always be careful that you're not shaking your legs. Okay, that will convey your nervousness. In person, your nervousness is already conveyed when you give in-person interviews, but in online interviews, if you shake your legs, your chair, your system, everything shakes. So it disturbs the interview experience. So no shaking of legs. Whenever you see yourself shaking legs, just keep your hands on your laps and no shaking legs at all. Have a confident body language. Always have open shoulders. Whether you're giving interview, you're speaking to anybody, you're talking to anyone, always have an open shouldered body language. Okay, when you speak like this, people are more likely to receive you. They're more likely to welcome you. They're more likely to understand what they're saying. The most important thing, when an interviewer is asking you a question, you're going to listen carefully. When you listen carefully, you know what is he asking and what to say. Because many of the interviews I have seen people, we have asked something and they're telling me something else. Now that is why you need to listen carefully. Now you won't even think of this, but when I was the chairperson of SW&D, when I was the planning and execution secretary, I have interviewed more than 350 to 400 people, and my interviews were more rigorous than the HR interviews that people conduct in corporates, really, because I was very committed to my job profile as a chairperson. So I wanted the best people in my team and the people that I can work upon, people who are really committed. Okay, so what companies are searching for, or what anybody is searching for in order to establish a relationship, work relationship, or any kind of relationship, is proper commitment. They see if this person is committed. Now, when you are speaking, your sense of commitment should come across. Okay, you should speak of the events or the incidences where you have shown good commitment. When people ask you what are your strengths in the interview, that time you can say all these things, that I'm a better team player and all these things. You can say things that show good commitment, that you're very punctual, you're very disciplined with time, you have good time management skills. So now these skills you're not just going to say, but actually develop. Okay, now what I want you all to do is, from the perspective of interview, make a list of strength that you want to develop. Okay, you don't have it, but you want to develop, like better time management, better stress management, better presentation skills while giving PPT presentations, these kind of skills, and then start working on those skills automatically. Now what will happen, many of the people who might have made the strengths and weakness list right now, you might have to think of strengths, and then weaknesses, we have a big list. This happens with most of the first year and second year students. This happened with me. If I share with you my first year list, I had some strengths like public speaking, good communication, good leadership qualities, like 4-5 strengths, and I had a big list of stretches. Low patience level, getting angry quickly, procrastination, inconsistency in some particular times, because I'm very consistent with the things that I'm interested in, and then I was not so consistent with the things that I'm not interested. So inconsistency in terms of that, sometimes being really arrogant with people, speaking too fast. I had this problem too. Got a big list of stretches. So then I made a list of strength. We will start engineering ourselves and then make a strength list and try to accomplish those lists. Now see guys, when you work on yourself and give yourself that time, confidence in the interview will come automatically. Now the next topic that I will touch in the session is how to drive your own interview. That means not to get lost in the questions that interviewers are asking, but to make interviewers ask the question that you want them to ask. Like for example, I wanted the interviewer to ask about my social welfare and development committee's work. And I had heard from many of my friends that they're not asking about extracurricular activities. So I made my interviewer ask me that question so that I will be able to portray my skills better. So I'm going to talk about this in the next session. I hope you all to see in the next session. We are done with the time, but people who are really interested in getting feedback about your speaking skills, okay, can stay in the session. Okay, right now we're going to play a game, and people who really want to have a feedback on their speaking skills, I'll tell you what the game is and then you can decide. Okay, so we have list of questions, very generic question. There is no right answer or wrong answer to the question. You have to pick a number, then our volunteer will tell you what the question is, and then you have to answer the question. Based on the question, I will tell you all the feedback or what you need to improve and how you can go about it. Okay, so are we ready to play this game? In the chat box, please. Yes. So now it's the game time. So I want you all to be really excited about this and play at your best.
So, Rutuja, are you going to say the rules of game or should I do it?
Yeah, you can take over, Prathamesh.
Okay. So this will be a game just to express yourself. Now I will tell you some of the topics, and what you have to do is you can simply turn on your camera if you wish, or and turn on your mic and speak anything about that particular topic. Just make sure you should speak only about max 1 to 1.5 minutes. Are the rules clear for everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So let me just tell you about the topics. And the topics will be something like this: college life, expectation versus reality. This topic will be more about a friendly kind of sense it will have. Second is lockdown experience. Then you can speak about any book you have read, or your first day in college, or any movie or anime or web series that you love to watch. Then again, kind of notorious topic is lecture bunking experience. I'm sure you might have bunked many of your lectures. Then difficulties in online lectures. Then post-lockdown azadi, because you can imagine now, and it will be more relatable कि जब लॉकडाउन खत्म हो जाएगा तो आपको कैसा लगेगा. तो इस पर भी आप सोचकर कुछ भी अपने थॉट्स रख सकते हो. Then New Year resolutions. It was also a hot topic a week ago. And gym or sports or any new skills or hobbies that you have explored. तो आप इनमें से किसी भी टॉपिक को उठाकर या ऐसे सिमिलर किसी भी टॉपिक को उठाकर अपना हैंड रेज करके अपने थॉट्स शेयर कर सकते हो। हैंड्स जिस सीक्वेंस से रेज होंगे उस सीक्वेंस से आपको चांस मिलेगा। आई विल सिंपली शेयर द स्क्रीन ताकि आपको वो टॉपिक्स एक बार सबके सामने दिख जाए। जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट फॉर दैट। मीनवाइल यू कैन रेज योर हैंड्स and you can start speaking up.
Chinmay, what do you want to speak about?
Yeah, I will speak something about expectation versus reality.
You can turn on your camera.
Actually, I'm not able to do it. Sorry.
It's okay, but people, you can turn on your camera now. Like you'll be able to better express yourselves. So yeah, Chinmay, go ahead.
Yeah, firstly, in first year, I expected that I will study properly in engineering, means properly in following schedules of college and rather doing programming. And later, I realized that the topics were of same from 12th standard. So I started ignoring the lectures and doing other stuff during that lecture, like sometimes playing games or going outside on just leaving meeting behind and other stuff also. It was a lot about reality. Thank you.
So that's it, Chinmay?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay. So Chinmay, the only thing that I would like to tell you is that obviously practice more English, but you use lot of fillers while talking, like then, like instead of those fillers, you can just pause, frame the sentence again, and then speak. Did you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, yes. I will try to improve it.
Yes, like in between two sentences, you take a pause, okay? Instead of using like then instead of that, instead of these sounds, we are going to take a pause. Okay, that sounds much professional. Who raised the hand next? Can you take over, Prathamesh? Like who has raised the hand next?
It is Yadnish.
Yeah, Yadnish, go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about difficulties we face during online lectures. So the first and foremost difficulty we face during online lectures is distractions and time management. So when lectures are going on, and if we are not able to understand what the teacher is trying to explain, we tend to pick up our phone, start scrolling Instagram, or we get up and start roaming in the house where we want. We don't give attention to what the teacher is trying to explain. Next difficulty we face is technical issue. Network problem is the favorite reason that students give if we don't attend the lectures. So that's the problem. And one more problem faced is lack of proper communication between teachers and students. Subjects like maths, statistics are the subjects that cannot be taught online, and for these subjects the questions need to be solved on blackboard, and that facility is not available on online mode. So that's the problem faced on online lectures.
So Yadnish, you're done with your saying?
Yes.
So Yadnish, very good. You covered the content very well. Okay. So you took the topic. Whatever you were saying was around the topic. So that's perfect. What I also want you to speak, like when you're speaking on certain problem, right? So first you introduced the problem. Okay. Then you spoke about the details of it. What I also want you to add is the solution. Okay. So when you are attending any interview or any talk, when you speak about the solution, it gives an image that you are a solution oriented person. Okay, so please make sure next time while you're speaking perfectly, like your pace is proper, you're very calm and grounded. The only thing I want you to say is about the solution. This will make a very good impact on the person who's listening. Okay, so good job, Yadnish.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Yadnish. Next is Pradnesh Ingole.
Okay. I will be talking about lockdown experience. So this won't be about whining or anything. So because I have learned so many things in this phase. So I consider this phase like my second life, or you can say yes, like this is my second life. So firstly, uh, prior to lockdown, I guess we weren't aware of the things that were around us, like family. So firstly, the family, because we were not considering them as important or the base of anything of our success. So they were base. So they are base about for our success or the things we achieve. So we were not aware, and the lockdown has changed this everything. So it has showed us the importance of emotions, the family, and various things. So also I would like to focus on emotions. Like in lockdown, I have discovered my emotions. So prior to that, I was like, humans have emotions. So what? So we are angry. So what? I mean, the point is that we weren't considering them as a vital point, or
Yeah.
emotions do exist in every person's life, which is underestimate. Like this person has emotion, he's angry, so we consider them as like evil or what you can say, diabolical. So, but they are humans, right? Humans are humans are sapiens. Like they do mistakes, they commit sins, but the circumstances play a very important role. So my point is that lockdown has showed me the true emotions that we all carry, and these are perfectly human. I mean, they are not like if you have bad emotions, like you are angry or anything, so it's okay. It's okay. You should accept those things. And thirdly, I discovered the point that I am not perfect. So this point is also the same. Like I am not perfect, I am vulnerable. I'm not like God or anything. I also have my flaws. I also commit sins. I have committed sins in my past. So it's perfectly fine. If you have learned some lesson from them, then it's perfectly fine. So this is my experience of lockdown.
Yes, Pradnesh, you have covered the content very properly, I must say. But then I have a couple of feedbacks to give you. You think so too much about the words that you want to say. As you're saying that you're working on vocabulary, that I was able to identify from your speech. You use good words, but then you're taking a lot of time to improve that. You need to practice more, and you need to rearrange your thoughts properly. Like this was a spontaneous topic, right? But next time, whenever you're speaking, just organize your thoughts properly before speaking. And the second thing I want to tell you is that you said firstly, secondly, thirdly. Okay. Now I'll give you better words because you are into that thing. So I would like to suggest you better words. You can say to begin with, in addition to, instead of secondly, and concluding, or to conclude. Okay. So this gives a professional touch to what you're saying. And rest of the things were amazing. That's good. Thank you, Pradnesh.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Sujit is next.
So, am I audible?
Yes, Sujit, you're audible.
So, my name is Sujit Pawar. I study electronics and computer engineering from Modern College of Engineering. So, today I would like to share my thoughts on my topic, that is the favorite sport. So, my favorite sport is basketball. So, I literally perceived it from I've been playing it from second standard, and I was so consistent till 12th, and after 12th, the pandemic came, and uh, it uh, it really changed the flow of the game. But still, and this year's resolution, I took a resolution that I will be more consistent towards it, and of course, I will not fail. fail towards the my fail towards my goal. And the guru who taught me this game, Sri Arun Pawar sir, I am also thankful to him, and I am thankful for my friends who play with me very well. And I have played the district level also, and I've achieved many goals in it. Thank you.
Yeah, Sujit, first of all, congratulations for being so consistent and committed to a game. That is a very good thing. That dedication is something that we should all appreciate. And thank you so much for putting your hand and speaking up, because I saw you had not rated yourself so well in terms of speaking and everything. But still, when you show courage to speak up, congratulations for that, having that kind of courage. What I want you to do is practice more English, speaking in English. As you saw that you are not very fluent in speaking in English, so you should practice about it. And whatever you said was in a perfect flow. That means you had organized your thoughts properly. You first told that you like this game, and then how you played this game, and then you thanked your teacher for it. This is a very good start, mid, and closure. So perfect for that. Just work on your English. Your communication skill is good. You just have to work on your English. Okay, Sujit, thank you.
That was my question. That English in my mind 10 and English when I speak 6.
Yes, and if you work on it, it is going to be 10 out of 10. And when you win basketball matches, I hope to see your interviews on television.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So, who is next? Namit.
Yes, Namit.
Hello.
Hello, Namit.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Namit Surana from PICT. I would like to share my views on my favorite movie or web series. Well, we all know that movies have been a relatively old form of entertainment, while boom of web series and anime has come in the last few years, as far as India is concerned. The OTT platform has played a major role in popularizing content on demand, which eventually led to this boom. So I want to share my experience watching the Money Heist. Things that are liked about the Money Heist are rawness of the show, boldness of the character, the storyline, and almost anything and everything that you can possibly think of. I started watching the Money Heist in the first lockdown of July 2020, while preparation of JMNs and CET. Whenever I feel bored, at that time, Money Heist was my go-to entertainment. Although it was hard to resist and control myself from the watching the whole season. My favorite episode from the Money Heist when Tokyo was killed. I don't remember the exact episode, but I believe that it was near end of the season 5, part 1. Tokyo was the main character in the story and they played an important role throughout the season. I would like to share some few important points that two to three things that I learned from the show. First is courage. If you have courage, you can do anything, even if society and family is against you. Second is the like hope for the best, plan for the worst. The professor from the Money Heist always hope for the best, but he always had a backup plan ready with him to deal with any kind of situation. And the final and most important factor is thinking. But more than that, thinking pattern is important. You must analyze your thoughts. Whenever you feel depressed or negative thoughts, go ahead and analyze them. Write down everything you are thinking about and on the paper. If you have already solved half of the problem by writing it down. So that's it. That I learned from the Money Heist, and this is my favorite web series recently.
Very good, Namit. Your communication skills are excellent, I must say. Which year are you in?
I'm in second year in computer branch PICT.
So have you been to PICT like in the lockdown, or you stayed in the
No,
college?
last month, like first only 1 month, and after that government imposed lockdown
Okay, when
again.
you said PICT, PICT was our go-to place. Like from VIT, we had better options to go and have the street food on PICT. So it is a nostalgic thing for me. I have like the only thing you can improve in your talk is that you can take little bit longer pauses so that it will give time for your audience to comprehend what you're saying. Okay, now me as a person, I've completely understood whatever you said. Your structure of speaking was very nice. You started very well. You highlighted all the important points, and then you told the takeaways from the movie. That is something that I love the most. Second thing is your body language is appropriate. Your body language is not too much, it is not too less, it is perfect. The only thing that I would suggest you to slow down speaking when you want, like when you want to take that pause, and take a bit longer pauses than normal. This will improve your professional speaking. Like as a speaker, you're amazing. Only in the professional scenarios, keep these things in mind. Excellent that way.
Actually, ma'am, I got same feedback from last 2 3 debates, but I'm not like able to implement that feedbacks in my like personality. So
See, what
can
you
you
need to
help me with
do
it?
is, yeah, what you need to do is, try deep breathing when you're not like speaking or anything. You're just like on your own whenever you have a free time. You breathe for some time, hold that breathe for some time, and then leave. What you need is more that your system has to be more oxygenated. Okay, that is when you can speak properly. You can put maximum output of your brain. You can use critical thinking abilities. The only thing is, the speed of our thought and the speed of our breathing is in sync. If you see, observe yourself carefully, when you were speaking too fast, your breathing was also fast.
Hmm.
Okay, if you are aware, you can see that. So as you slow down your breath, you slow down your thinking, and that is how you can get in sync. Okay,
Okay.
so whenever you get time, pay attention to your breathing, and also when you're speaking, when you think that I have become too fast now, pay attention to your breathing. This is what I have also done, because I used to get these feedbacks that you speak way too fast.
Okay. So thank you,
Okay, so
ma'am.
all the best. Yeah,
Yes,
you're
thank
welcome.
you.
Okay,
Yes,
who's
very nice attempt, Namit. Now let's move forward to our next speaker, who is Tanvi Shirbate.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, Tanvi.
Good afternoon. My name is Tanvi Shirbhate. I am from Professor Ramegi Institute of Technology and Research, Badnera, Amravati. It's an engineering college. And ma'am, today I would like to talk about the book I recently read. The name of the book is Attitude is Everything, and the author of the book is Jeff Keller. The book was about 150 or 125 pages. Uh, so it was a very nice and small book. I would like to share about something that which is really very important, and which was very good thing I read in this book. That the topic was how we can change our lives by changing our attitude of mind. The author Jeff Keller told us that our attitude is our window to the world. Means how we think, and we can our thoughts our thoughts makes our life, build our life. Means how we think good, and our life can be good that way. Uh, mm, they also uh, they also share their experience that if we associate with positive people, then it will um, help us to process our life positively and make things happen the way we want to. Mm, and it also covers the topic that failure doesn't mean that it's end of the life or end of the world. It's it's not like we cannot achieve success in future. Failure is good, and it's a better opportunity to learn something new from our failures. And quitting is the main thing. Quitting is the main thing. We don't fail if failure comes. We fail when our mindset is to quit ourselves. Um, I know it's a little difficult for me to explain, but I want to explain that the only time success is impossible is when you quit, and you give up on your dreams. This was the main point I like in this book very much. And other thing is that if you want to achieve something, if one's target is to achieve money, then we should dream, or we should imagine ourselves going that way, or we should imagine gaining that thing. Imagination is the first part of gaining a success, or gaining or making our goal complete. We If we will imagine ourselves in going the way of success, then we will make the things which is essential to be successful in our lives.
Oh,
That's
okay,
it,
Tanvi.
ma'am.
So, Tanvi, first of all, I appreciate you that in between you picked up, like you were not able to explain, and then you explained so well, you know. You said that one sentence, and we all were clear, like, okay, this is what she's trying to say. So amazing effort for that, and thank you so much for speaking up. You gave really insightful content to all of us. Now, whatever you said was amazing. Practice more on your English, and I'm sure you'll develop the fluency. As you said, that quitting is the only failure you can have. Now, the same content that you spoke, you could have structured it in a better way. I'll just give you an example that you can start with, why do we fail? Okay, then you can tell the central theme of failure, and then you also give a solution to this problem, that what is the first step towards success or manifesting anything is imagining it properly. So if you could have taken this type of structure while speaking, it would have been easier for you to explain. Okay, so work on your structure and your fluency. These are the only two things that you have to work on, and you'll be an amazing speaker because you're reading books, you're gathering insightful things and sharing with people. So all the best, Tanvi.
Ma'am, I know I can develop a good fluency in future, but I want to know or learn about this. How can I develop my structure? Means I know I am a little bit no, I am usually backward direction about structuring the language. Then how can I learn about that, and how can I grow?
Okay, so see, there are two kinds of structures. You either go from a general topic to specific. Okay, like for example, when Namit spoke, he was generally first started talking about the movies and OTT platforms and everything. Then he went specific to OTT platforms. Then he went specific to money heist. Then what we learned from it. You understood? It was like this, like from general to specific. So either you can follow that you go from general things, that you go to specific things. When you're tackling a central problem, like success failure, so you start with, why do we fail, and then what is the solution to it. First introduce the problem, speak about the solution. You can either follow introducing problem, speaking about the solution. You can follow general to specific. You can also follow cause and effect. When you're explaining something, what is the cause of the thing and what is the effect it causes, and how we can improve on the effect. So these are three structures that generally people use while speaking. You can find out more about this on internet, but like these are enough. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And
Yeah,
ma'am,
welcome.
you mentioned about the app Ace Fluency. Will it be helpful to me?
Of course, it will be helpful for you. You can there is their free subscription. You can use that and see if it is helping you out.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you so much, Tanvi. Our next speaker is Anushri.
Yeah, ma'am, am I audible and visible?
Yes, Anushri.
Okay, so hello everyone. I am Anushri Bajaj, and firstly, let me tell you that it was a wonderful session. I am sure each of us might have actually benefited a lot from it. And the topic that I've chosen is the book that I've recently read. And the major reason behind choosing this topic was that none of other people have covered it, and me being a reading enthusiast, I would love to share my experience about the book named Atomic Habits, which I recently completed. And it is written by John Clears, and the book is very good and very precise upon specifying how a person can judge his habits, whether the habits will be constructive for the person's personality or whether they will lead to a downfall of that person. Moreover, the one thing that I have incorporated in my daily routine after reading that book was that I just make sure that once I get up in the morning, I do all my daily routines, and within the 1 hour of me waking up, I'll grab a pen and paper and then just write down all the tasks that I think that I should cover within the day. And let me tell you that the most satisfaction on the nights that I have is actually not when I've completed all the 10 tasks that I've written down, but just those seeing those tick marks, feeling that, okay, these I have done and these could be done by me, but still I haven't done them. So that is a self analysis that I do. And that is one of the very good things that I've learned from the book. Furthermore, John Clears actually specifies how a person should just maintain a table of the habits that he has and rate himself on whether those habits will actually lead him to the person or the personality that he wants to become in his life. Because he very clearly tells on the very first page of the book that a person is made up of his habits, and you and I are just composed of habits. That's it. So the name atomic habits itself comes from the meaning that atom is the smallest part of matter. So you and I are just made from habits. And yeah, it's a advice that each of you must go ahead and just whenever you find a spare time in your life, just read the book named Atomic Habits. And yeah, I would like to conclude by again thanking ma'am for this amazing session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Anushri. Now, the most wonderful thing that I felt about her speech that she's really cheerful. I mean, she lightened up the mood instantaneously when she started speaking. I like that a lot, and I appreciate that a lot in speakers because that is your charm and your uniqueness that you show when you start speaking. So I appreciate your speech for that. Your language and your fluency is appropriate. Like, you don't need any feedback about it. The only feedback I need to give you is that the thing you said before conclusion, that what does atomic habit mean, or how does it help you, or what, if you would have just spoken it before starting the speech, it might not create a really big impact. But when you are on platforms like, suppose one day you're going and speaking on an international platform and you're talking about a book. Okay, so if you specify why the title is the way it is little bit in the beginning, you can use the same point while concluding. Okay, so it becomes one single thing when you are portraying it in front of somebody else. Okay, so whenever you're talking about a book, a movie, or anything, the highlight, try to give a tad bit of it, a bit and piece of information in the starting, and then complete it in the beginning. Okay, so it keeps the interaction a little bit juicy, and then people understand, oh, this was the bigger picture. Okay, so you are absolutely amazing, and this is how you can improve a little bit. Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
and have a
Thank you
good
so
smile.
much.
Yes, thank you so much, Anushri. Our next speaker is Atharva Avchare.
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, Athar.
Okay. So, as you all are just of my age and you two are not so old, so I would like to begin some informally. And I may fumble a little, that is because of the fan, but bear with me. So I first of all like to tell you that the session that we had was very interesting. I like a lot of related with you, not just like I have a relation with my professor, but I have a different relation with you today, just like listening to you and understanding you. So that's a good point for me from today. So that's a small point that if there is an opening in cognizant, there is no harm in remembering Atharva Avsare. So beginning with my topic that Prathamesh sir have suggested, he told about college life expectations versus reality. As I don't have a college now, means it is online, so it isn't considered as a college. So I would like to share my experience of my 11th and 12th. As of now, I had a clear image of the college that Karan Johar gave us Instrument of the Year, extremely all just mashy people, all the roaming around. So I belong from a small town, and I went to Pune for especially for my 11th and 12th, and I didn't had much expectations. So in a way, I would like to counter the point that the expectations of my college that I had turned into the reality. Everything is just the same. Everything was awesome. Just all the professors. I don't want to talk about that. But all the students and all the students and my friends, they were all good. They were very jolly. All the like mostly the movie shows about boys and girls having relationships, etc., having friendship, group of friends. I've had everything. I saw everything. I thought that it is real. There is nothing like reality is some different from the expectation that was shown to me. And I would also like to mention the point that the hostel life in college is a way lot more underrated. I want more and more students, more and more parents to encourage the students to get a hostel, being in the same city or not being in the same, but get a hostel, because that period of time you're gonna get, you are gonna stay, you're gonna be the best. The time is gonna be the best time of your life, and you're gonna enjoy a lot. And the conclusion is no, not just a conclusion that I have, but thank you for that. Thanks for your time. Uh, I've, I guess I'll stop FP.
Yeah, thank you, Atharv. And as you said, like hostel life is underrated. I absolutely agree. Hostel is a place that you learn a lot. I mean, hostel gets me so nostalgic. I can speak about hostel for half an hour again. But then the feedback that I would like to give you in the speech is that again, go for proper articulation. Like you spoke in different bits, okay? You spoke about hostel, you spoke about college, you spoke about online lectures, about professors, which was a good humorous element. Just bind everything together. And how are you going to do it? While talking about one thing after the other. Okay, so once you're talking about online things, only online things. Once you're talking about professors, only about professors. Once you're talking about friends, only about friends. It was a good discussion as you do in a friend circle, okay? अगर तुम दोस्तों के बीच में बैठ के ऐसे बात करेंगे, this is an amazing talk. But if you're doing it professionally, you should have done it the other way, okay? And as you said that you're going to be informal, so absolutely okay with this for this session. But when you're speaking professionally, try to stick to what you're saying, okay?
Yeah, ma'am. Good.
And thank you for appreciating this session. Yeah. Who else is left?
Yeah, I think we will take only now 3 entries which have raised their hands: Akanksha, Pratiksha, and Samruddhi respectively, and then we can conclude the session. Yeah, Akanksha, please go ahead.
Hello, myself Akanksha Bhulane, and I am from Srimati Kashibai Navle College. So, thank you so much for this wonderful session. I would love to talk about my experience in the lockdown. So, I've been a person like before lockdown, I never appreciated myself, or I never thought that I was a worthy person. But when lockdown hit, like I started investing in myself, and then like now I have the feeling that I am worthy enough. But before lockdown I didn't had so much confidence in myself, but at least now I have the confidence that I am able to speak uh, before you. I learned from the lockdown that you should always invest in yourself rather than investing in other social medias or something like that. Like you should have a time for entertainment, but it will never take place of like investing time in yourself. So that's it.
Okay, so Akansha, absolutely nice content. I liked your content, and the way you structured it is absolutely good. What I only want you to do is to have voice modulation, okay? So you have a very good soft voice, that is nice. But when you're excited about something, then raise your voice a little bit. When you're not so excited about something, like when you said that social media is not that much worthy as investing time in yourself is. So social media is not that much worthy, but investing time in yourself is. So this voice modulation creates a big impact when you speak. Like I just showed you an example. So try to modulate your voice while you speak. When you're excited yourself, you can express it, okay? You're holding yourself back. Is that fine, Akansha?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Samruddhi, come on.
Okay, go ahead, Samruddhi.
Yeah, hi. So I would be talking about anime. I have been watching it since couple of years, and okay, first I would like to tell what anime is. So just like we have heard about comic books, right? So in Japanese culture they have mangas. So it is also sort of comic, but not actually exactly comic. It has a great storyline. It's not okay. Most people confuse anime with cartoons. So the big difference is that cartoons में छोटा भीम का age नहीं बढ़ता है, but in anime the characters grow, they develop themselves. There's a proper storyline, and there are many life lessons that we could take out of it. Like the first series which I would like to mention is Naruto. Naruto literally will give you life lessons. Like you would learn a hell lot of things out of it. So yeah, anime is not just a cartoon. It's just that it's animated. So it comes from Japanese culture, and it is based on the mangas which writers write. So it's a 2D animation, and it's also dubbed and sub form. So dubbed is basically they dub the Japanese thing in English, which doesn't give you the feel of anime. But if you are a art loving person, then you should go for the subtitled version, which would be in Japanese. But the emotions the artist put in it is just the next level. Like you can literally feel the character, the emotions, and everything about the art. And yeah, so anime is about it. It's not just a cartoon, but it's much more than it. Okay, so one of my I have watched many of, not like many, but yeah, I have watched some animes, and out of those, Naruto, Haikyuu, these ones are my favorite because these tell you the spirit of never giving up. Like it will just tell you that how never giving up will take you to next levels. Like the lessons which I have took out of them are like, don't stop trying, just don't give up, and you would see the results eventually. Just keep on going, never give up is what I have learned from them. Yeah, so I would stop here, and thank you so much for today's session.
Yeah, Samriddhi, I maximum of my best friends, they are anime fans, and I still remember the day when I called it a cartoon. Like I was given a 3 hours lecture of why it is not a cartoon, and you very nicely spoke it in like Chota Bheem doesn't grow up, but anime characters grow up. I have not watched Naruto, but the specific episode of his encounter with pain, that is one of my favorite things to watch. Like I watch it again and again. Haven't watched the complete anime, but like the concept of anime. So giving you a feedback, you spoke properly. Your flow was amazing. Your structure was good. Your voice modulation were in place. Where you were excited, we were getting to know that you're excited about something, and where you're not so much supporting, like you said, it's not a cartoon. It was very clear to us. Now, the only feedback I have for you is to take pauses, because there was a overlap between two of your sentences, and sometimes you are repeatedly saying the same thing. For example, that it is not a cartoon. It is good that if you want to put emphasis on something, that you repeatedly say it. But when you're not in a professional setup, it is completely fine. You can neglect all these things. But in professional setup, once you've said something, try not to repeat it. Okay?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. So Pratiksha, I think Pratiksha is the only one left. Pratiksha, sorry for making you
Yes,
wait
ma'am.
so long. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Pratiksha Babre. I am from VIT College. I want to speak on the topic that the movie, which is my favorite. I watched a movie Mission Mangal in a lockdown period, and from childhood, I'm very curious about the space and how the spacecraft works and go to space and the technology, how it works and all that. The movie starts from the failure of the Fat Boy spacecraft. Uh, all the teammates, Akshay Kumar was the leader of that team. All the teammates were very disappointed, and they were blaming on them about the for the failure of that spacecraft. Uh, and but when they announced for the launching Mars, for launching a spacecraft for Mars, everyone, every country, everyone, even the chairman of the ISRO was not I think what to say, and was not trusting on them that they will do or not. They were doubting on them, but and even the teammates which were in the team, they were also doubting on the leader, on the co-leader Vidya Balan. But Vidya Balan convinced all the teammates about their job towards them and about their duty towards the country. She convinced them that it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's the job to prove yourself, to prove the profession scientist. She convinced them, and she encouraged them about to do the job, and to give a try. Not even we think that we will succeed or not, but to give the try, it's the best thing. And I have learned a lot of from that. And I would like to add the one thing, that the budget is not that much for their project, for their launching experiment. So then also they tried to tackle that. They used the uh, term home science. They reused the plastic for the making of that spacecraft, and it teaches us the how to tackle a problem and how to adjust in the things which we have. And the movie tells about the hope for the best, and not to give up till you get your goal. And don't think the people what thinks about you. Let them tell anything, but you should do your work, and work work will tell your firm belief to them. And
Yes.
that's the amazing thing I learned. And thank you, and the thanks for the session.
Yeah, thank you, Pratiksha. Thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. Your storytelling is amazing. Okay, let me tell you this. You know what to say after what. But the only problem you have is the problem of fluency. I mean, you had your thoughts collected in your mind, but they were not in English. Like they were in different language, and you were translating from that language to English. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to work on your fluency, and just be fluent. And when you're like, your structure was amazing in the beginning, but at the end what happened is you jumbled a little bit with the structure. So try to keep the same structure that was there in the beginning, and it will be amazing for you to speak when you have a proper structure. You're a very good storyteller. Tell more stories. Like, I have this exercise particularly for you. Tell more stories in English to students, to small kids, or try storytelling more and more. This skill is going to help you a lot in future. You're a good storyteller.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so at a concluding note, okay, have a doubt. uh, Whoever are having doubts, post your doubts in the message, like DM me on Instagram. I have shared my Instagram ID with you because the session has already got too long, and I can share all the insights on Instagram. And all those people who are genuinely have doubts, I am always ready to help. And one more thing that I want to tell you all is, please give your feedbacks. There will be a feedback form, right, Prathamesh?
Yeah.
So please give your honest feedback so that I can plan the next session better. Please give, if you have any personal feedbacks, you can also DM me on Instagram. And I would like to know what you people want to learn. The main theme of the next session is going to be how to drive your interviews. And I am going to touch upon the best practices for personality development and what are the habits that you can develop to have a far better performing personality. Okay, so next session is going to be a real game changer. So I request you all to attend my next session. And there are certain topics which are relevant to our generation, for the youth, okay, the people of our age. So I have made videos on the topic on my YouTube channel. I am sharing the link of my YouTube channel in the chat box. So all the people who have specific doubts, like I have made a video on nervousness, I have made a video on confidence, I have made a video on speaking fluently in English. I've shared that particular link in the chat box. And for all the people who stayed up till the end, thank you so much. You are the people who understand the value of communication and having a constructive feedback. So I thank you all so much for trusting me and giving me you all time. And I hope to see you all in the next session. Thank you.
And one more thing, I would like to have a word here, that as we can see, 80% of the crowd have already left the session. But the rest 20% are the people who have showed the perseverance. And because many times we often start an activity, but leave it in between. So for all of you who stayed here all the time, interacted, and made this event super successful, kudos to you guys as well. And Rutuja, I have seen you energetically speaking for hours in college, and I was super impressed when I used to hear you. And trust me, that impression is exponentially increased after today's session, because I know from my personal experience that after working hectically for a week and then being so energetic on weekends, this takes really guts. And thank you so much for being here and giving so much knowledge to us, to our crowd. Thank you so much for everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. And Prathamesh, thank you so much for inviting me, for trusting me, because I had told this to these people that I don't touch topics just on the surface. Because you'll find many speakers who will just speak about English, about confidence on the superficial level and end the session in 30 minutes. But this is not where development happens or growth happens. So I want to pass on this habit of getting deep into introspecting, understanding yourself, and being self aware. That is how you develop any skill in the world. Okay, so all the best for this journey. I hope that this session was helping you in developing better confidence and clarity. Thank you so much, guys. And this is my passion. I want to help people to see the best version of themselves. And thank you so much for adding up to this journey. And I hope that you will be with me along while pursuing this journey of helping others. Thank you.
Yeah. So as Rutuja said, there will be a feedback form for you guys on the group. It will be shared, and if possible, we can share the PPT as well. Rutuja, what do you say?
Yeah, sure. No problem. I'll share the PPT as well. And more than PPT, what I want you all to do after this session is go and write down all the call of action that you are going to take about the stretches.